or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A more definitive answer from Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis regarding his status for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Yesterday, he said he plans to be available. Today, he said he's going to play against the Mavericks, just isn't sure what his conditioning level will be. He's been out 5 weeks with a calf strain. Porzingis' health, just one key for Boston in the Finals, points out ESPN NBA analyst Alan Hahn.
Jason Tatum meets Luka Doncic on the mountaintop, and they go shot for shot. We've seen Tatum do this with other stars, most notably Giannis Antetokounmpo a couple of years ago in a playoff matchup that was for the ages. He can do it, and that's important. Also, Jaylen Brown has to be the fire to Tatum's ice, and Kristaps Porzingis has to have a healthy calf, and it doesn't hurt him on either end of the floor and knock down those big threes.
Alan Hahn on Get Up. NBA Finals opener tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ABC. NFL, Browns signed coach Kevin Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry to contract extensions. Astros right-handers Jose Urquidy, Christian Javier, both will have season-ending right elbow surgery.
As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Mayuso. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Let's hump, comma, everybody, period.
Hump day.
Punctuation matters, kids.
It's hump day.
Get you in trouble the other way.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Alex Milazzo in studio 1 hour from right now.
Hump day.
His LSU career came to a close. We'll talk to the catcher about it.
It's hump day.
Sean Fazende next hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Saints are back out on the practice field.
Hump day.
Bama is burning again.
It's hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Ask and you shall receive.
Hump day.
Seek and ye shall find.
It's hump day.
Knock and the door will be opened unto you.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Suck it, you Crimson Tide losers.
Hump day.
It's coming. It's coming in 30 minutes. It's coming again.
It's hump day.
All right, we got a lot to do. Let's go. Glad you're here. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
New Orleans Saints back on the field for OTAs. Dennis Allen met with reporters afterwards. The most newsworthy item from Wednesday's workout, Chris Olave in a red no-contact jersey. So what happened, Dennis Allen?
So he kind of tweaked his shoulder in the weight room a couple of weeks ago, and so we're just making sure that, he doesn't get bumped in any form or fashion.
Listen, this is OTAs. It's June. Yes. Okay, Chris Olave hurt his shoulder in the weight room. The words that would terrify me right now are non-contact injury or surgery. If you say either of those things to me in June, I'm concerned. Anything else, Chris Olave's a young dude, high-performance athlete, injured his shoulder in the weight room, cool. Take some time, get it right. Remember, OTAs are still voluntary workouts. He doesn't even have to be out there, but he's still out there in a no-contact jersey. So even with the shoulder injury, he's still out there catching passes and running routes and everything. So just fine. Don't worry anything about it. But what's interesting is when you look at the calendar, today's June 5th, and one of the things we often talk about with respect to the NFL calendar and contracts especially is post-June 1 contract designations, meaning releasing players or trading players post-June 1. And that happens oftentimes for cap-saving measures. And when we look at the receivers, there's one guy out there that kind of is worth mentioning when you talk about receivers. And I only bring this up today because, obviously, we talked about Chris Olave being injured, but Olave we hope will be fine, and you have Olave and Rashid Shaheed. But after that, it is kind of a question mark at receiver. You added some veterans this year, but Michael Thomas is gone. And I don't know that you've really adequately replaced Michael Thomas in the slot. And one of the guys that was a post-June 1 designation that's still a free agent is Hunter Renfrow. And this is worth mentioning because Hunter Renfrow is a guy that spent the first 4 years of his career with Derek Carr, the first year in Oakland, then 3 in Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, in 2021, that's when Renfrow had a career year, 103 receptions for 1,038 yards. So, yeah, there's some synergies there. And I don't know that we can honestly say the Saints have replaced Michael Thomas. So when you talk about Renfrow, he signed a 2-year deal with the Raiders, but now as a post-June 1 designation as a free agent, that is a guy that maybe the Saints, as they move along, kick the tires on. It's worth mentioning, the Saints, despite all of their cap gymnastics, or maybe because of all of their cap gymnastics, do have cap space. So the fact that, they went through all their offseason maneuvering like they always do, the Saints right now have over $4.5 million in cap space right now. So if they wanted to add someone on a team-friendly 1-year deal like Renfrow, any camp is mandatory. And Dennis Allen said, that he expects everyone to be there, including Marshon Lattimore.
Look, next week we've got mandatory minicamp. My expectation is that everybody will be here for mandatory minicamp.
Everyone for minicamp, that includes Marshon.
That would be my expectation.
So, we've talked a lot about Marshon Lattimore over this offseason. Does Marshon Lattimore, is he back in New Orleans? The Saints have waffled a bit and wavered. I shouldn't say wavered. I should say waffled. That's the right way to say it. They've gone back and forth about both Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen about their expectation of Marshon Lattimore. And the most recent conversations from the Saints brass is that definitively Marshon Lattimore would be a part of the New Orleans Saints in 2024. As I look at the list right now of these post-June 1 designations, the more I lean toward trading Marshon Lattimore if you get the right deal. Bear with me, okay? And I want to be very, abundantly clear. Marshon Lattimore is the best cornerback in the history of this organization. You're a better team with Marshon Lattimore than without him. But the question is, are you a contending team with Marshon Lattimore? And the reality is, last year Lattimore played in 10 games. You were 5-5 in the 10 games he played. So, and the last game he played of the season was the game against Minnesota when Joshua Dobbs beat you. That's the last time we saw Lattimore this season. So I don't know. I don't believe the Saints are a contender anyway. I mean, your Vegas win total projection is 7.5 over under. How many wins is Marshon Lattimore good for? I don't think if Lattimore's there or isn't, it changes your win total projection. So when I started looking today at the list of some of the free agent cornerbacks, the post-June 1 cornerbacks that are out there, I mean, you have some dudes, some veterans who at points in their career have been really good players that could be available on a one-year deal. For example, Xavier Howard from Miami. Now, Xavier Howard's going to turn 31 years old on the 4th of July. So he's a guy that's getting a little bit long in the tooth. Last year, played in 13 games, so he missed 4 games last year. But let me remind you, Lattimore missed 7 games last year. Lattimore's missed 17 combined in the last 2 years. Xavier Howard was awesome back in 2020. In the COVID year, he had 10 interceptions. Since then, he went from 5 to 1 to 1 again last year. So as a guy who's about to be 31, his production has trailed off tremendously, but could a new setting maybe help Xavier Howard? Stephon Gilmore, all-pro cornerback. Now, Stephon Gilmore is going to be 34 years old on September the 19th. But he played every game last year for Dallas, all 17. The concern about Gilmore is over the last 4 years, he's played with 4 different teams. New England, Carolina, the Colts, and Dallas. And if he were to leave Dallas and play somewhere else this year, that'd be his 5th team in as many years. Ultimately, you look at the circumstantial evidence and say, if he's still really a good player, why aren't teams re-signing him? Which is fair. But could he be a serviceable cornerback for you? Clearly, he started 17 games for Dallas last year. And the other one worth mentioning is Adoree Jackson. And maybe I'm just romantic about Adoree Jackson because he was the one that got away. LSU recruited him so heavily. It came down to LSU and USC. He ended up picking SC. And listen, he's bounced around a little bit in the end. I shouldn't say bounced around. He played for Tennessee. Now he's with the Giants. And he's played a lot of games. Last year, played 14 games. Started 14 games, I should say. And in his career, Adoree Jackson's played in 83 NFL games. The problem is in 83 NFL games, Adoree Jackson has 4 interceptions. Now, he's the youngest of the group I just mentioned, 29 years old on September the 18th. So Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore, Adoree Jackson, all starting caliber cornerbacks. None of them at this point at their best is better than Marshon Lattimore, but ask yourself this question. Does Marshon Lattimore make you a contender? If the answer is no, and you have the opportunity to get an asset for him and dump some salary, why not? Because remember, as we look at Marshon Lattimore's contract, yes, it is a rich contract. There's no doubt about it. He signed a 5-year, $97 million deal. And when we look at Lattimore and the cap breakdown right now, his cap hit this year is $14 million. But the dead cap number this year is around $10 million for Marshon Lattimore. So if it was a post-June 1 trade or release. So if the Saints were to trade Marshon Lattimore, follow me here, the dead cap number would go down to $10 million. So you'd save $4 million on the dead cap number if you traded him at this point. Next year, Marshon Lattimore's cap number is $31 million. It would go down to 20.6, and then in 2026, you'd still have him on the books for $9.9 million no matter what. So my point is, you'd save, if you traded Lattimore now, you'd save money this year and next year, and you'd get an asset, and there's veteran players available who are serviceable. Would I prefer Marshon Lattimore be on my team? Yes, I would. But if you can get an asset for him and save money, and it's not going to affect your win-loss record materially, and there's veterans like Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore, Adoree Jackson out there, should you make the move? I'm going to say yes. Yes. Because I don't think the New Orleans Saints are a contender. The problem is the New Orleans Saints think they're a contender. And as long as they do, they're going to latch onto their really good players and their assets like Marshon Lattimore. We'll see how it plays out. Saints are back at OTAs today, minicamp next week, and the expectation is that Marshon Lattimore will be out there. Okay, it's After Further Review. Show up and brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. Man, I had an awesome time on Saturday over the sportsbook at LeBairs with our friends over at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light. It was absolutely packed for our UFC VIP watch party. Man, all the VIPs that came out, but then just everybody, the general public that came out was awesome, man. It was so packed in there. It was a lively atmosphere. And over to my right, our friends from Mockler had about a dozen people there that came out for the fights. And all that to say, Mockler's hiring, and I mean, they're a growing, expanding company. They've been around for 40 years, but of course, they've got their Baton Rouge location, they've got their Houma location, and they're also, recently acquired Southwest Bev in in Lake Charles, so they're in Southwest Louisiana as well. And all three locations, in particular in Lake Charles, are hiring. So you want to work for an awesome company with great culture? Like, my goodness, you go to the Mockler Beverage location over on Riga Road in Baton Rouge. They got like a full-length basketball court. So, so the employees can go play basketball. I mean, you're the bud man. I mean, you're at parties and crawfish bowls. Like, why wouldn't you want to work for Mockler Beverage? Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. And if you're interested, contact our friends over at Mockler Beverage and apply online today. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, we'll knock out a quick break, come back. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Got a little LSU football I want to tick off when we come back, including a very interesting conversation that Chuck Oliver had yesterday with an analyst about the perceived value, the numerical objective value behind LSU's coaching staff this year as opposed to last year with all the staff changes. I think this is going to really maybe pleasantly surprise you. So we're going to get to that when we come back. And yes, Bama is burning. We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you every day about our friends over at Action Industries, a proud partner of LSU Athletics, proudly servicing the petrochemical and refinery market since 1982. Action Industries, they're just an awesome place, man. Locally owned and operated with 2 physical locations on Highway 30 in Geismar and, of course, in Belrose as well. That's the one where I went to. I went down to the Belrose office, and it was so cool because the day that I was down there, I went into the fab shop, the fabrication shop, and they were fabricating one of those pressure vessels. It was incredible to see the size of that vessel. And not everyone does that, but Action Industries, they offer fabrication shop services as well. So if you need pipe or structural steel or pressure vessels, they do it all. When it comes to their pipe manufacturing, they fabricate in separate shops, alloy and carbon steel. The two sections are segregated. You understand why that's important. Check them out today. It's Action Industries.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is excited to partner with our sister station Eagle 98.1 on a rare opportunity for local bands in our area to be the featured act for Kenny Wayne Shepherd's July 13th show at the River Center. We're looking for 5 Louisiana bands to compete at a special Battle of the Bands on June 21st at the Texas Club. To submit an entry to take part with a sample or your band's sound and get all the details, visit 1045ESPNBatonRouge.com. The entry deadline is June 12th.
I think that should be a sample of your band's sound. Not sample or your band's sound.
Yep.
Yeah, probably what that is, huh?
That is what it is.
Yeah,
a little.
That's what it is.
Little hiccup in there right around that time.
I'm using R as like a little line with a little curvy thing.
It's a P with a kickstand.
Well, that's if it's capitalized.
Yeah.
In this case, it's the middle of a sentence, so it'd be lowercase. Should be anyway. That's a really cool promotion. Highly recommend if you are in a band or know someone who is. I mean, the winner of this contest is going to open for Kenny Wayne Shepherd at the River Center. That's so stinking cool. Major hat tip to Michelle Southern for pulling this off. That's why she's awesome. But do you know who the judges are going to be for the Battle of the Bands? So there'll be a Battle of the Bands June 21st at the Texas Club, and then the winner gets to open for Kenny Wayne Shepherd on July 13th. You know who the judges are going to be?
Are they from Guarantee, or are they like famous people? I'm looking for a hint here.
I mean, aren't Guarantee people famous people?
No. Baton Rouge famous.
Kinda. Bro. Your boy walks around New Orleans. A lot of people catcall Scott.
That's true there too. I guess.
I went to the Mockler thing out in Lake Charles. They thought I think I was more popular than Will Wade at that thing. I think it's absurd but I'm always flattered by it. But yeah, I mean,
yeah. All right, so I'm guessing you're one of them then, since you're bringing it up. Michelle.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Brooks, who's the program director of 100.7 The Tiger. So the program director of 104.5 ESPN, the program director of Eagle 98.1, the program director of 100.7 The Tiger, and there's one more.
Oh, there's one more. Gordy? I have no idea.
Paul, would you like to help our friend?
I'm going to guess it's the program director of Talk 107.
Hey, give this man a ding, please.
All right.
The other program director in our station. Oh, my God, Muse. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate Paul.
I got you.
I appreciate you every day, more and more every day, and that's why I always insist you can never leave. I've had this conversation with Paul so much over I refuse to. He cannot leave ever. Paul, you can never go on vacation. You can never leave. You see what happens, Paulie? When you leave, the collective IQ of the room drops like 50 points.
Yeah, it went down a big.
You have to stay here. Anyway, go to 1045ESPN.com and spread the word, man. That's going to be such a cool thing. In all seriousness, though, that is a really awesome promotion. We're looking forward to it. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for being here with us. So we air the Chuck Oliver Show here in Baton Rouge. I know there's a lot of you listening on KLRZ 100.3 ESPN New Orleans, 94.7 Alexandria, 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. Some of you are watching on YouTube. Thanks for that. Watching on WBTR. I know a lot of people consume us a lot of different places, but our station here in Baton Rouge, after we go off the air, we air the Chuck Oliver Show. Chuck's a great friend. He's done a 2-hour college football show for the last 10 years. It's all college football all the time, just a college football show. And Chuck's amazing. Well, every week he has a guy named Dave Bartu on. You might be familiar. Dave is a CFB Matrix. If you go on Twitter or look up his website, essentially coaching staffs and athletic departments hire Dave as a consultant when they go into coaching searches. So Dave has put together a metric to sort of grade and rate coaches. This isn't like a hot seat ranking or anything. This is a guy who uses his objective data and has plugged it into the computer, who's come up with, he basically uses numbers to rank coaches and talk about coaches' abilities and their functionalities and their efficiencies and all that sort of thing. Well, Dave Bartoo goes on weekly with Chuck Oliver, and they stumbled upon the conversation yesterday. I know this, I was listening as I was driving home, and they started talking about LSU. And it was so interesting to me because Dave, first of all, raved about the hiring of Brian Kelly 2 years ago. Like a complete and total home run, knocked it out the park, like no issue. But what's interesting is what you're going to hear in this bite is where the LSU staff collectively was ranked in the SEC last year and where they are now after the wholesale changes on the defensive side of the ball, and obviously Mike Denbrock leaving as well. Give a listen.
I think we said this on this show last year, going into the season, worst defensive staff in the SEC, LSU. Now, do they have the worst defense? No, but that shouldn't even be in the conversation when you're a top 5 recruiter. I think you and I would agree on that. So LSU cleaned house on the defensive side. They had a 24.9% increase in defensive coaching grade. They had the biggest upgrade in the country. So they went from terrible to pretty darn good. Now you lose Denbrock, and it's next guy up. No experience calling plays at the offensive coordinator position. Now my eyes are shifting from, I think the defense are going to be fine. I'm curious to see what the new inexperienced offensive coordinator at LSU brings. That's the next big question mark I have for that staff.
And, of course, he's talking about Joe Sloan replacing Mike Denbrock. And it's a fair question. Now, one point of clarification is Sloan has called plays. He did it 1 year at Louisiana Tech. He was the OC there for a couple years, but he called plays 1 year. And then we know that he called plays in the bowl game as well and in spring. I don't think they're going to miss a beat there. There is something to be said for experience in calling plays and being in certain situations and circumstances and having that cadence and rhythm, and that's something that you can only develop with time. And I've often said that LSU is not a learn-on-the-job type of job. When you have the type of money and resources that LSU has, you hire proven coaches. So yes, promoting Sloan and Hankton is a risk. Undeniably, that is a risk. You went from a guy who's been a proven OC for 20-plus years, was the Broyles Award finalist, to a guy that is, in Joe Sloan, a risk. No doubt. I think Joe Sloan's going to be fine for whatever it's worth. But it's fair what Dave Bartoo was saying there. The more interesting part is what he said about the other side of the ball, right? A year ago, LSU, the place that was once DBU, the place that once had a decade-long run of having at least one defensive lineman drafted, a place that has pumped out linebackers like, obviously, Devin White, Kendall Beckwith, Kelvin Shepard, Kevin Minter, Perry Riley, I mean, on and on and on. Go back to Trev Falk and Brady James. My goodness. You had the worst defensive staff in the SEC, and it makes sense. Robert Steeples, that was his first college job, cornerbacks coach at LSU. What? Kerry Cooks clearly was in over his head. We know what happened at defensive line when Jimmy Lindsey got sick and you had sort of the revolving door there. I mean, yeah, it was a mess defensively. And Dave Bartoo told you that his metric has LSU with a 24.9% staff grade increase, which was the biggest jump in the country. You went from the worst defensive staff in the SEC to one of the best in the country. Blake Baker, proven SEC DC now with his time at Missouri. Bo Davis, arguably the best defensive line coach in the country. Certainly among the best recruiters in the country. And as a tactician, certainly one of the best defensive line coaches in the country as well. Let's not forget, Baker also is going to coach your linebackers. Corey Raymond, the godfather of DBU, a dramatic improvement from Robert Steeples to Corey Raymond. You understand the point? I mean, Kevin Peoples coaching your defensive ends. This is not even, I mean, we all know it, right? Intuitively, we can go position by position on the defensive staff and say, yeah, that's a dramatic upgrade. This is actually putting some quantifiable data behind it that LSU's defensive staff has increased nearly 25% in its collective defensive staff grade from a year ago. So, yeah, I don't know that LSU went out and dramatically upgraded its talent. Like, we were hoping that LSU was going to sign a starting caliber defensive lineman, and it didn't happen. They got some pieces that might be part of the rotation. Maybe Gio Paez becomes a starter. Maybe JVR Suggs does. I don't know. But you are going to be coached better to the point where the talent you do have will be maximized, and you can't help but be better than you were last year. And I'll say it again. You don't have to be great. You just have to not be the worst defense ever. It's really interesting to hear that from Dave Bartu on the Chuck Oliver Show. All right, it's After Further Review. Brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Gentlemen, if you're thinking of popping the question, always go to Lee Michaels, where they give you the Lee Michaels experience. You know, how many times, if you've ever walked into a jewelry store, and I've had this happen, and there's sort of like the disheveled guy who pulls out the calculator and starts, hammering away about how much he's going to save you on a discount. Like, does that feel like a special moment? Do you think you're actually getting a deal? Or did they just, jack up the price to be able to give you a massive discount so they keep their margin? At Lee Michaels, they don't play the game. At Lee Michaels, you walk in, they offer you a beverage. They offer you, chocolates on a tray. You feel like you're doing something important and special, because you are when you buy a diamond from Lee Michaels. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. I do want to get into 247 updated some SEC football power rankings post-spring. And what was interesting is I'm going to be able to compare and contrast this number to what we did yesterday with FPI. If you weren't here yesterday, check out the segment on YouTube or on demand. It was stunning to see how much ESPN's FPI loves Oklahoma. It got me thinking, are we ignoring Oklahoma? Are they the team we aren't talking about that we should be? Are we sleeping on Oklahoma? A little bit later in the show, I'm going to come back to these SEC power ranking numbers and kind of compare and contrast them to what the computers say about the SEC in 2024. Okay. We're brought to you by Pluckers. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Oh, yeah. Bama is burning. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or on any of the social media handles, just go to @getgordon. Gordon, of course, congratulates Jay Johnson and the Tiger baseball team. So many members of the Tiger baseball team are G team members as well. Our buddy Alex Milazzo, who's going to be in studio in 30 minutes from right now, was on the G team this year. And, now that you move on from baseball season, Hayden Travinsky, Gavin Guidry, so many key, Bear Jones, key members of that team. You move on to football, and boy, it's same. How about G team athlete Dominic McKinley, the big defensive lineman for LSU? There's a cool video up right now of Dom doing his little sit down with Gordon and members of the G teams. You can check that out on their social media @GetGordon. That's @GetGordon. Remember, if you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Oshner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Musso tried to make me a liar. Tell him, Muse, you tried to make me a liar.
I did no such thing.
I went to break, and I told him Bama is burning coming up, and we
Yep.
went to break, and you told me don't do it now. Wait until the 5 o'clock hour.
That is not.
And I would have lied to my audience.
That's not what happened.
That is what happened.
No, it's not. You brought up the fact that we might run out of time in this segment with Around the SEC
Well, then why
and
are you still
Taylor
talking?
next, and if you should move it, and I said probably.
Well, now you're wasting more time. So let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Duncanville 4-star quarterback Keelan Russell has flipped from SMU to Alabama. Had been in SMU's class since September. He signs now, or flips now, to commit to Kalen DeBoer. 6'3", 182. He's number 57 overall prospect, the number 8 quarterback for 2025.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia got a commitment from 5-star linebacker Zayden Walker. You know what happens when you're a top-tier program? You get commitments from 5 stars. Not you, Alabama. White's a 6'2", 225-pounder. He checks in as the number 24 overall prospect. He's a top 5 player in Georgia.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Let's see. 6'4" guard. We printed this without a first name. Grant Huffman. There he is. Grant Huffman. 6'4" guard Grant Huffman is transferring from Davidson to Vandy. He's a grad transfer who averaged 12 points and 5 assists, 5 boards last year. Vandy's no good.
Texas A&M!
And Texas A&M's traditional bonfire, which you might remember tragically ended 25 years ago, will not return for the renewal of the Aggies' annual football rivalry with Texas. In 1999, 12 people were killed, 27 more were injured when the log stack collapsed during construction. The tradition had dated all the way back to 1909. Texas does play Texas A&M November 30th in College Station. The rivalry, of course, split back in 2011 after the Aggies left for the SEC. Okay, there you have it. That is around the SEC. Did you happen to catch that first story in around the SEC? The story where Alabama flipped a quarterback commit? Oh, yeah. But Matt, you might say, I don't understand. Alabama flipped a quarterback commit. How could this possibly be a sign of the impending doom, the inevitable collapse of the Crimson Empire?
Matt, I don't understand. They just flipped a quarterback. How could this be a sign of the collapse of the empire?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Because Keelan Russell flipped to Alabama from SMU. Oh, there was a day. Oh, there was a time when Alabama had the pick of the litter. When the dictator was in town running everyone else into the ground. Anybody the Crimson Tide want, the Crimson Tide got. Now they're relegated to pillaging SMU for 3-star players. Keelan Russell, a 6'3", 185-pounder. Need I remind you that a few months ago, when Nick Saban was still coaching Alabama, the Crimson Tide had Julian Sayin committed. Do you know where Julian Sayin ranked among quarterbacks in the class of 2024?
I do. He was number 1.
He was number 1. The number 1 quarterback in the country, the number 6 overall prospect in the country. Enter Kalen DeBoer, exit Julian Sayin. He's at Ohio State now. You know what quarterback Alabama signed in the 2024 class, do you, Muse? They didn't sign a quarterback in the 2024 class, Muse.
That's why I couldn't remember.
And now their answer is an SMU commit.
It's an ACC school.
Hey, by the way, Alabama, pretty good track record pumping quarterbacks into the NFL, wouldn't you say?
I'd say yes.
Bryce Young, number 1 pick in the draft.
He was pretty good.
Mac Jones, first-round draft pick.
Pretty good.
Tua, first-round draft
pretty
pick.
Darn
yeah,
good.
Had a nice history, huh? Do you know the last time SMU had a quarterback drafted?
1978.
No, it was Garrett Gilbert in 2014. Garrett Gilbert, who started his career at Texas, meandered along and ended up finishing at SMU. Prior to Garrett Gilbert a decade ago, by the way, 2014 was a decade ago. It's been a decade since SMU had a quarterback drafted, not exactly a bastion of quarterback talent. It's not a font of ability under center. Prior to Garrett Gilbert, you want to know the last time SMU had a quarterback drafted, do you, Muse?
I want to know.
1981, Mike Ford in the 9th round to Tampa Bay. That's the last time that SMU had a quarterback drafted, and now the Crimson Tide is pillaging Southern Methodist. They're chasing the ponies right now, trying to steal quarterbacks from SMU and taking victory laps like it matters. I'm going to say this again. Alabama, you're not going to be bad. You're just not going to be invincible ever again. Crank it up, Muse. What are you doing? Play it louder. What is wrong with you? We've only done this 17 times. Bryce Young was the number 1 player in the country. Tua was a 5-star. Jalen Hurts was the number 1 dual threat quarterback in America. Mac Jones was a 3-star, but they developed him and he became really good. But you know who's not there to develop him anymore? Nick Saban's not there to develop him anymore. So take it, Bama. You got your running back playing quarterback for another year in Jalen Milroe. You got Ty Simpson, who couldn't even beat South Florida in front of 1,000 fans down in Tampa. You got a couple of redshirt freshmen nobody's ever heard of in Dylan Lonergan and Austin Mack. They're going to transfer as well. But fear not, Bama. Keelan Russell, the SMU commit. You flipped him. Your knight in crimson armor is on the way. He's coming on his pony from SMU to save you, Alabama. Get lost, you losers. It's over. You're never going to be great again, and I'm going to laugh my ass off at you every chance I get. Crank it up. Muse, play it louder. What are you doing? I probably just lost my voice again.
No, you sound fine. You sound normal.
That's because I'm going into my lower register.
Talk like you would.
I'm trying. I can't.
That's all right. You only have 2 hours and 15 minutes left.
And then I get to do 3 more hours tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Friday.
Yeah.
So worth it. Keelan Russell got an SMU quarterback. Ohio State's flipping 5 stars. And Bama's stealing kids from SMU. All right. Let's toast to their impending doom. Taylor Calandro's next.
AFR.
And you know what we can toast with? A bottle of anything from Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. You want wine? Awesome. Guess what? Rouse's has a program, buy 4, save more. Buy 4 bottles of wine. The more you buy, the more you save. It allows you the opportunity to try some really interesting wines you might not try otherwise. You want whiskey? Massive whiskey selection. Beer, both domestic craft beer, all the Louisiana craft beers, they got a great selection there at Rouse's. So, you want to toast the demise of Alabama or kick back just by the pool and crack open a beer, a seltzer, or pour some tequila or whatever it may be. For all of your spirits, the best place to go, of course, is Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. And if you're buying on a budget, remember, you can always go to the website or the app, hit the weekly ad tab, and it'll tell you all the specials they have. So you want to make groceries hot? Get by Rouse's and make sure that you save with a great Louisiana company with more than 60 locations. Rouse's, this feels like home.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center, This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
Wrapping up hour number 1, get your booze questions in for Taylor Calandro. How are you, dude?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Hey, have you tried Whistle Pig's Summer Stock? The Viper something series? I need to look this up.
Oh, yeah. The Viper Sunshade series?
Yep. That's it.
The Viper Sunshades, that's what all the travel ball kids were wearing like 2 years ago.
Yes.
Now, I don't think they're in style anymore, but I tried that last summer. It was good.
So,
it's it's Solera finished. I think is what it says on the bottle.
What does that mean? It says it's basically about like the sun, but what does that mean?
I think they finish some wood or some staves out in the sun, and then finish the whiskey. It is what it is.
It's it's interesting because obviously it's so much of whiskey is marketing and promotions and things like that. But the bottle's kind of iridescent. It's cool. Anyway, my buddy Rooney emailed over at Sunshine. Scored a bottle and gifted it to me, and so I popped it open the other night after the LSU baseball game. And for 86 proof, I was really surprised, man. It was full-bodied and actually quite good. I mean, I love Whistle Pig, I love rye, but 86 proof is on the lighter side. So I was pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah.
Pit Viper.
Huh?
Pit Viper. That's the name.
Pit Viper. What did I say?
Nothing. I just said Viper. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, Pit Viper Sunshades. But yeah, it's got that cool oil can looking top. It's really cool.
Yeah. What else is new?
Today we got Crown Royal Single Malt.
Oh, y'all got that blackberry thing in?
Yeah, we don't have blackberry, man. God, no blackberry. No, none. We got like apple and all the other crappy flavors, but we don't have any blackberry. Unfortunately, at Crown, if people are unfamiliar, Crown Blackberry is like Blanton's right now. So still no Crown Blackberry, but we got the single malt. Single malt is brand new. It's launching this week. They haven't even officially launched it. They're launching in New York City this week. But Louisiana is always early on Crown Royal releases for some reason. We're one of the best Crown Royal markets in the whole world. Literally, Louisiana is.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm not joking.
Oh, wow.
We're a test market for Crown Royal because Louisiana drinks so much.
I didn't know that. No, I believe you. I believe you.
So anyway, it's a single malt. It's $70. It's 100% malted barley. I haven't got to try it. This is the first time they've ever done a malt whiskey of any sort that I know of. I'm kind of anxious to try it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, there it is right there. Wow. In a
brand spanking new.
I
mean, it's hard to find information on it because it is literally like brand new.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
All right, let's get
$70. We have some, and the bag's really, really nice too. The bag it comes in. I know that's very important to people.
That's why you should buy a bottle of whiskey, is because of the bag that it comes in.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Darian Weston said, "Hey Taylor, did you get the Buffalo Trace store pick yet?"
Oh God, I'm glad you asked. No, we didn't.
Oh God, this is 2 weeks in a row now. What are you doing?
We're getting it tomorrow, allegedly.
You said that the last 2 weeks.
Dude, I'm at the mercy of my people, of my distributorship. So, yeah.
All right.
But we're going on 3 weeks now. We'll see.
Oh, this is an interesting one. Greg Lehman said, ask Taylor, have you seen a change in the alcohol market since THC and other derivatives have become legal?
Very good question. It's hard to tell. I think COVID, because this THC thing kind of came along to Louisiana around COVID. So it's hard to tell because COVID was such a weird time for sales. I do think for sure that THC is affecting alcohol sales in Louisiana, even though it's not legal. I mean, that doesn't matter. It's very accessible. I do think that it is chewing into the alcohol sales. Yes.
The THC beverages, though, you can find them on the shelf. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, and I don't know if he's asking about legal, and I'm putting that in quotations, legal THC drinks or illegal. Technically, I mean, medical marijuana is legal here, but there's a rise of THC everywhere in the country, whether it's legal or illegal, and it's affecting other things that are legal that are in the same type category. And alcohol is the main one. And the short answer is yes. I do think THC is. It's becoming a lot more popular.
I got 5 seconds. I made fun of Bama, so I got to go. So all right, that's Taylor Calandro. We'll see.
AFR.
I got backed up making fun of Bama, and it was worth it. Hey, we're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. So you've heard me talk about my experience with LASIK almost 6 years ago now with Dr. Blake Williamson, still seeing better than 2020. But remember, there are alternatives as well. Evo ICL lens in your eye, and then later, obviously, they could change the contact lens. But in any event, Evo ICL is an option as an alternative to LASIK if you're interested. Highly recommend you ask about it. It's why you just need to go sit down and have that consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson. Learn why LASIK is the most successful elective procedure in the history of mankind. It's the Williamson Eye Center.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi, edging closer to tip-off for Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Celtics and Mavericks. Boston center Kristaps Porzingis out the last 5 weeks with a calf strain. Confirmed today he will play in the opener tomorrow, but he's not sure what his conditioning level will be. Porzingis will, though, play a crucial role in the Finals, explains ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
One of the things that he does so well, he shoots three-pointers from the top of the key. I know that sounds like a basic thing. He doesn't just corner shoot. He shoots three-pointers from the top of the key. They run pick and rolls with him at the top of the key. That means if you're going to guard him, you got to be 20 to 23 feet from the basket. Right. That means those two centers in Dallas who love to protect that rim have to come out. That's Otherwise, right. They're handing him a free shot.
Game 1 tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ABC. NFL Browns signed coach Kevin Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry to contract extensions. Stefanski led Cleveland to an 11-6 record in 2023 in a playoff appearance, despite a rash of injury. Baseball, Astros right-handers Jose Urquidy, Christian Javier, each scheduled for season-ending right elbow surgery.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Thursday. The AFC North is an extremely competitive division, but I'll tell you whether or not I think they're truly the best in all of football. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Pillay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Saints were at OTAs today. Our buddy Sean Fazende from Fox 8 was there. He'll be with us in about half hour from right now. Unfortunately, the LSU baseball season came to an end a couple of nights ago, but means our good fortune, we get to have our buddy Alex Milazzo in studio with us after 5 years in the purple and gold, man. It came to an end the other night, but what a run it was. Thank you for coming in, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Dude, it's our pleasure. We got a couple of segments with Alex, so I kind of want to talk about the season and your career, and then next segment we'll talk about what's next, pro ball and all that's happening in your life. Let me start though with something we were just talking about off air, which is you got home and your neighbor's daughter gave you a card. I think a lot of people have seen the tweet by now, but can you tell us the story?
Yeah, so obviously flew back the next day after that regional in North Carolina, and me and Tommy White and Paul Skeens actually during the fall, we had a house together right there in Pelican Lakes, and we actually just got a new neighbor, bought the house right next to us, and as soon as we get home, we haven't even gotten bags out of our truck yet, and our neighbor's daughter hands me and Tommy both a card. She handwritten, wrote a note on it, which she writes better than me or Tommy. Definitely Tommy.
How old is she?
Yeah.
How old is she?
Oh, I think she's probably 10, 12 years old.
Okay, young, yeah.
Yeah, young. And, man, I almost started tearing up just reading the letter just because, obviously, after 4 or 5 year career here at LSU comes to an end and you get home, that's the first thing you read. It puts everything in perspective for me and, what this baseball team and just LSU and the athletics here mean to this community in Baton Rouge, and just everything this program has done for me and everything it's given me and my family. I think this letter just kind of paints the picture right there for everything.
No doubt, man. It's one of those things. We saw it yesterday, and so we talked about it a little bit on air. And it's one of those things that reminds you, like, the sort of love affair that this community has with the baseball team. Like, people just are ingrained in it. And you were one of those guys, man. Like, you grew up loving this team, and you got to play for it. So if I ask you now, like, that it's over, has it sunk in that it's over? And, like, when you start to, like, have you started to process that at all?
Yeah, I think, going into this year, I knew it was going to come to an end. And, I mean, look, if I could play here for 20 years, I would, but that's not the case. And I don't know, just growing up, coming to games like you said, and watching regionals, super regionals at the box as a kid, and looking up to guys that played before me, the Mikey Matoks, Jared Mitchells, and then you get to fill those shoes when you get here. I think you're blown away at first, because as a kid, you look at it and you're like, no way I can get there and do that and do what these guys are doing. It's almost bigger than life type of deal. And then you get there and you do it, and while you're there, you're just surrounded by so many people that love what you're doing and love how you do it, and surrounded by great teammates and the bonds you build throughout those years. And then it comes to an end. It's like, wow, that went by pretty fast.
Would you, as you look back, would you do anything differently or have anything play out differently? I mean, you dealt with some serious injuries in your career as well, and you had super high moments and low moments. I mean, when have you started to think and process about that? Like, is there anything you'd change?
I couldn't go back and change anything the way it happened or how it went. And you can look at this year especially. I think this program's going to be better for it. And I wouldn't change how anything went throughout those years. I'm leaving with a ring on my finger, which is something I came here and I was set to do that. And something else I was set to do is get LSU baseball back on the top of college baseball, of where it's been for so many years. I don't think we've ever gone under that, or the expectations have ever gone under that. And but big thing for me was being able to leave here with an impact on the guys that are coming after me. And not only that, but just carrying on that legacy of what so many guys did before I got here. And I think nobody understands that better than a Louisiana guy. And that was just my only hope, was coming into this program and leaving an impact and just carrying on that tradition like so many guys have, and playing a brand of baseball that Louisiana's proud of.
Yeah, man. Alex Milazzo's in studio with us. You will. You've probably already experienced this, but I've done this job long enough now to know, right or wrong, people always, when they have conversations about LSU, start with the national championship teams. I mean, there are great players that came through this program. Aaron Nola, Alex Bregman, Aaron Hill, like amazing, Ben McDonald, that didn't win national championships. But if you were on a championship team and you have that ring, it's just always going to lead a conversation and hit differently. Like, it's only been a year, but have you experienced that?
As far as what, talking about?
Yeah, no, like anywhere you go in town, like
people
are going to talk to you about that forever. Like, you are forever going to be Alex Milazzo, 2023 LSU baseball national champion. Like, whatever else you do, it's like, Terrio's our mutual friend. Like, guy won 2 World Series titles, played a decade in the show. He's the guy that scored the winning run in the 2000 World Series against Stanford on Brad Cressy's hit. Like, that's just who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the coolest thing. And going into a World Series like that, I've watched it play out both ways for people, where it's like, I've watched other teams go through it. Everybody watches College World Series, and it's like, man, it's kind of like the Arkansas play down the line where the guy missed. You know what? That play could happen anywhere. It just happened to happen on the biggest stage. And it wasn't as easy of a play as people think it might have been. But that guy, he probably couldn't live with himself for a long time because of a play like that. And he's probably catching a lot of flack from fan base. So you can leave a tournament like that, or the World Series, being hated or being loved. And thankfully we were on the other side of that. But like you were saying, I've walked into Rouse's like, hey, that's the guy that broke his leg.
That's how you know.
Yeah, I've gotten that a lot, where it's like, that guy broke his freaking leg at home plate. And then I've also got, the tag play with Trey Morgan.
Yeah.
that was probably the coolest play that happened for me while I was there. Breaking your leg's not something that's fun, but
not so much.
Yeah.
You were here last year with us after the championship. We talked a little bit about the play and breaking your leg and everything like that. But man, that the tag play with Trey Morgan is going to be one of the I mean, I think I don't know. You're not old enough to remember Ray Wright's catch against Stanford in that 2000 championship game, but there's pictures of it everywhere. He went over the wall and robbed Edmund Muth of a home run.
That play right there, like you were saying, and us talking about Louisiana and how special it is to play at a place like this. I was getting my hair cut as a 4 or 5-year-old, looking at pictures of walk-off homers and stuff, and Warren Morris with his hands up in the air, and I'm getting my hair cut, and I'm looking at that like I want to play there.
Yeah, that's
what this place means to me, and to be able to do that, and not to cut you off where we're going,
dude,
but
people don't need to hear. They want to hear you talk.
Yeah,
they hear me talk plenty.
Yeah, and like going back to talking about if I'd change anything, I still remember the day Nolan Cain came and watched me at Zachary catching, and we talked on the phone and made a visit here. And I'll never forget standing at the foot of my parents' bed one night talking to them about what to do. You know, I had other options, other places to go, and they talked to me about what this place is, how special this place is, and what it could do and how it could impact my life. And I remember looking at him saying, I got to know if I can play here. I have to know if I can play here. Like, if I go there and get cut or they tell me to leave, but I just remember telling them I have to know if I can play here and compete here.
I think you answered the question pretty emphatically throughout your career, man.
I like to think I did.
Alex Milazzo is in studio with us. So let's knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Got plenty more to do with Alex here. We're glad he's here. We'll talk about what's next. I want to talk a little bit more about this season as well, how it all transpired, what's next year for the Tigers, and obviously for him in his professional career and in his personal life. So we'll get to that as we continue. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Glow Resources online at glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. And I always emphasize employer because there are temp staffing agencies that do a fine job, but that's not what Glow is. Glow isn't targeting you, the employee, asking you to come work for them. Glow Resources wants to talk to the employer. Their client is you, the business owner, who's struggling to find employees to fit the job specifications. People that are reliable, that show up on time, that do what they're supposed to, that meet both the physical and necessary skill qualifications to do the job. If it's skilled blue-collar labor, if it's labor, if it's C-level management, Glow Resources has a 93% retention rate. When they place their employees in your job, a 93% retention rate. You want to be more productive and find better employees? Glow Resources can help. GlowResources.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Oshner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Glad to have Alex Milazzo in studio with us here for a couple of more segments. I want to ask about this season in particular. Quick reminder about South Point Volkswagen and southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Remember, if you're a college student, $500 off any vehicle if you're a college student. So if you're in college, you're trying to get that affordable vehicle, South Point helps just with $500 right off the top. And if you're thinking about buying that vehicle, maybe for your high school or college grad, they got great deals right now, like 2.9% for 60 months right now on Jetta. Check it out at southpointvw.com, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, Alex Milazzo hanging out in studio with us. Tiger season came to an end on Monday. I mean, I could ask you. I kind of have to ask the obvious question, man. Like going through that ninth inning, and you know, you didn't get to play in the game. You're watching, but I'd imagine you send Gage jump out there, needing 3 outs in the ninth to advance. You're feeling really good, and baseball can be pretty brutal, and it was for you guys on Monday.
Yeah, I was actually earlier in that regional. I was playing against Wofford and had a hamstring injury, so. Wasn't able to go and didn't feel like it was in my best interest, or more importantly, the team's best interest to go that game. Me, it's 60% and not being able to run at all or explode out that catcher position wasn't in my best interest or the team's best interest to play that game and put us in the best possible chance to win that game. But I was actually in the bullpen in case I had to go in for whatever reason, you know, late inning sub. I was in the bullpen catching Gage jump, getting him warmed up, having him throw to me and talking to him and getting him ready to go in the game, and the stuff was electric. If you told me 10 times out of 10 you get Gage jump in the ninth inning to get 3 outs, I'll take that all day, any day.
You know, I know the conversation around here was like, you know, Nate was so good in the eighth. You're running back out there, and my point was exactly what you said. Hindsight can be 20/20 in any sport, but especially in baseball. It's such a game of failure that, I mean, you know, the old cliche, you fail 70% of the time, you're in the Hall of Fame. So if the decision you make was made with sound logic and made sense, and you live with the result, and I mean, you're right. Put Gage jump out there needing 3 outs to advance. That's what you want. It just didn't work out. What was the post-game atmosphere, team meeting, hotel, flight home? What was it like?
Yeah, going back to the original deal, like looking back at baseball games, it's very easy to nitpick things. I mean, everybody does it, you know, especially in the SEC where fan bases are a lot bigger. You just see it a lot more often, but everybody can nitpick split decisions in the game or choosing to put this guy in. You know what? No coach or no player is going to go out there and say, man, I want to try to fail right here. I'm going to put this guy in the wrong position. Nobody does that. And, you know, going back to that game, yeah, Ackenhausen was the right move right there. And then that guy had also thrown, 3 or 4 times in that regional. So he was emptying the tank for 3 outs right there. Get those 3 outs in the 8th inning, and then gauge jump, bring it in gauge jump. That's the right move. But after that regional, that's when it all kind of hit me, and the emotions were super high, and saying those final goodbyes to this team, and this team came a long way together. Everybody questioning everything we did, from effort to leadership, which none of that was ever the case with this team. And I've seen them all. Like, everybody was questioning our leadership on this team. Everybody was questioning the effort of this team, whether guys were invested, playing hard, and everybody on this team was invested all year long. And it was a lot of fun to kind of silence all those doubts at the end of the year. And I think that's where LSU baseball makes some of the best runs, is in that second half of SEC play. And that's what we did with our backs against the wall. We came out swinging. It was never like cower down in that corner and just try to survive. No, our backs were against the wall, and we were freaking swinging throughout this season. And you know what? I wouldn't want to go into another regional or with another team. I thought we were in the right spot, and that's what hurt the most, was how well we were playing at the end of the year and how things were shaping up for us, because I really thought we were going to win that regional. Lights are coming on back of the box, and everybody knows what happens when lights come on at the box for super regional. Tigers are going to Omaha.
That'd have been a lot of fun, man. We were all hoping for the same thing.
Yeah.
One of the things, the narratives we talked about with this team all year was this team never quit. It looked like early you all just struggled to figure out how to finish a game late. I mean, we can talk about the whole Arkansas series. My goodness, the game 2 against Florida, even the game 1 against Alabama. It was just like there were times in this season where you were close, but then you mentioned late in the season you did figure it out. This team, the Wofford games, great example. But both Wofford games, right? You were down up against it in the game, and you found ways to win, sweeping Ole Miss when you absolutely had to have it. What can you define? I mean, look, you played on a lot of games for this team. What transpired that got the team in the hole to be sitting there 3-12 at the halfway point, and then to get, like, what went wrong early that was corrected as you all went through? Maybe that's a better way to ask it.
Well, everybody talks about that, like, after you win a national championship, that lull that teams have every year. And we addressed the elephant in the room as soon as this team was formed. Like, it wasn't fair to compare this team to last year's team. Like, we weren't doing any of that. This is the 2024 LSU baseball team. So we addressed that early on, and I knew, and everybody else knew, that we might go through some struggles. For God's sakes, you lost Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens. Like, those two alone win you a lot of ball games.
Ty Floyd.
Ty Floyd.
17 in the college
series. Look at the guys you lost and the veterans you lost, and then the veterans you returned from the starting lineup. A lot of new faces in the program. So there's always going to be that time where you have to develop guys, and you have to teach guys how to win and how to play for a team. A lot of guys come out of high school, and it's meaningful baseball, but it's really not meaningful baseball. A lot of guys are playing, no knock against tournament baseball or whatever, but a lot of guys are playing for themselves, trying to put up numbers, trying to get recruited and whatnot. And then you get here, and now you have to play meaningful baseball, and you're playing for the name across the front of your chest and not the one on the back of your jersey. And it took some time to develop younger guys into understanding that. And, hey, your batting average does not matter. What your personal stats do not matter. All that matters is winning baseball games. And once guys started buying into that, heck, we started out the season, 20-3, 21-3 non-conference, and then you get into the SEC, which is that's a whole different animal. And the biggest jump guys make in their baseball career is going from high school baseball to SEC baseball. High school baseball to SEC baseball is the biggest jump people are going to make in their career, because you go from SEC to minor league ball. I think there's a lot of similarities.
Look at Trey Morgan hitting 450 in A-ball right now. I mean, of course.
Yeah, let me just bring that up. We lost Trey Morgan last year.
Right.
Like,
Oh, you can go down the list.
Yeah,
Joe Bear, Cade Beloso, Gavin Dugas. You lost a lot.
So it took, me and Travinsky and
Jordan Thompson,
Helmers, like, we were on guys all fall. The coaching staff did a great job at developing guys, and the leadership was there. The pieces were there, and it's just bringing that team gelling together. And you have to go through adversity for those teams to just lock in. And you know what? We went through it. We were 1-9 at one point in time. I believe my COVID sophomore year, after my true freshman year, we were 1-9 to start SEC play. A lot of the same guys that were starting in the lineup on that national championship team. So then you fast forward, what happens? That team just freaking came together. We end up winning at Oregon, going to Super Regional at Tennessee, getting bounced at Tennessee. But you know what? That core group right there stayed together, and we won a national championship together. So this team just went through some failure, and they learned how to come out of it a better team, and then they saw what it takes to get hot and how to play together and what winning baseball looks like and how to do it. And they also learned that, hey, no matter if you're down 4-0 in a ball game, the game's not over. You're playing against the baseball. You're not playing against the opponent. So I'm actually very happy to see how we left this year and the impact we were able to have on some of those younger guys. And I think where this baseball program's heading is it's going to be unreal.
I want to follow up there and give me just one quick second. Got to remind you about Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. I want to pick up right there because I want to talk about 2025 here in a second. If you're hitting the road this summer for vacation, make sure you get to Shaw Bills. You need new tires. They're going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. Of course, if you need an oil change, if you need your tires rotated, the brakes are squeaking, the check engine light is on, nobody's better than Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Make sure you ask about the Shaw Bills credit card because you'll always be able to get great discounts when you use the Shaw Bills credit card over at Shaw Bills. Locations all over South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you or schedule service at ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling. So when we look forward, and Alex Milazzo is in studio with us. So when we look forward to 2025, you mentioned a lot of the young guys. And my goodness, you had 3 true freshmen in the starting lineup in a regional final game with Jake Brown and Ashton Larson and
who else
Stephen
had
Milam.
that across college baseball?
I don't know, man. I can't tell you I know everything about every team in college baseball, but to be in a regional final with 3 true freshmen in the lineup is pretty remarkable. When you look to next year, and the other thing that's really tough about it too, man, it's like now in the portal era, you don't know who's staying, who's going. Like you could have massive roster turnover every year. But when you look at like assuming the guys who are here back next year, what do you see? Like what young guys were impressive? Maybe guys you think might play a bigger role next year that you got to see at practice and every day that maybe we didn't get to see.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going to happen in the portal.
Right.
Obviously, I don't know who's transferring, and I have no idea about that. But the portal is a whole different animal for me. I never considered going into it like I'm here no matter what. But the portal is a whole different animal. Where you can go pick up a veteran guy. So I'm sure LSU will end up getting some portal guys. I have no idea, but what I do know is the foundation's there. And when you have a guy like Stephen Milam at second base doing what he did this year in SEC play and how he did it, that's going to be the most dominating second baseman across college baseball. When
did you know he was going to be really good? At what point?
When the lights turned on.
Because the word was he kind of had a rough fall. But, he really he took all the coaching to heart, came back, and obviously he started 60 games.
I could tell already some guys, there's guys that just, for some reason, they don't play well in the fall. And once the lights turn on, though, they're a gamer.
Got it.
That guy's a gamer. We had no idea. Like, the Stephen Milam we saw in the fall and the Stephen Milam we saw in the springtime, that's 2 different animals right there. And he was incredible. He's going to be he's already one of the best second basemen in the league across the country in college baseball. And then you have a guy like Ashton Larson who did what he did and got a lot better in the outfield and continued to develop at the plate. And he's taking mature at bats for you. Stephen Milam's taking mature at bats for you from both sides of the plate. Then you add in those 2 lefties with Jake Brown in the outfield, who is going to be a heck of an outfielder and is a heck of a baseball player in general. He's one of my favorites right there in that class just because how he competes. And he's another Louisiana guy that truly cares about the name across the chest with LSU. And all three of those guys really understand what it means to play here, and I'm looking for great things out of those guys. But not only that, I think that freshman class grew a lot. You got a guy like Ryan Kucherak, who's going to be a very good baseball player in the infield. Cam Johnson has all the talent in the world, and he's steadily progressed.
Yeah.
And he's gotten better every single day, and I look forward to big things out of Cam Johnson. Anytime you have a left-hander that's a power arm, it's good to have.
Those guys don't usually show up on college campuses.
No, that guy shouldn't be on a college campus, to be honest with you. But it kind of reminds me of like an Asa Lacy type of guy that A&M had a few years ago. And
when I think of lefties that throw 100, that's the standard. Like, Asa Lacy from A&M was just unfair.
Yeah, I talked to Beloso about that, and he was just like, it was terrible. And somehow Beloso talks about how he had 2 base hits off that guy, and he was just like, it was the worst. Of course he did. It was the worst thing ever. And I felt bad for Beloso, man. We still laugh about this to this day. He's leading off in the national championship game and gets hit by 2 pitches from Caglione right in the freaking back, man.
Take your base, bro.
Yeah, that was.
You got the rest of your life to let that heal, man. Get on base and go score a run. Alex Milazzo's in studio. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back. We got another segment with Alex. I want to. I really want to talk about what's next for you. Pro ball, family, life, all that stuff. So we're going to get into that as well. And if you want to drop a question for Alex, you can email us, tweet us, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. We'll continue with Alex Milazzo next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find them. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. When I can share testimonials, I love to do it. And this 5-star Google review came in from Kathy and Pete Aguilard, which said, Darren James and his entire team were so awesome. They're easy to work with, stayed on top of everything to make it a smooth process. It was absolutely the best experience we have ever had buying or selling a home. I highly recommend Darren James to everyone. They are now our go-to people for all real estate needs. Thank you so much, Darren, Mr. Douglas, and Angel. You don't need me to say anything else. I mean, I could tell you how Darren James is the #1 realtor in the state of Louisiana, number 14 in the country on the Wall Street Journal's Real Trends list of the top realtors in America. That's based on the number of transactions. So, you want to get your home sold and have that kind of experience? You need Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile power.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Hey, we're going to have Sean Fazende right now, but he was kind enough to bump to 5:15, so we'll get to Sean Fazende in about 40 minutes from right now. Alex Milazzo's in studio hanging out, so I figured, man, like, He's got time. He's like, I'll stay as long as you want me to stay. I'm like, all right, we'll just blow out the show. We'll keep talking to you. This is way more interesting than us doing Tigers in the Pros or whatever else we're going to do. So we'll talk to Sean in the next hour. So Alex Milazzo's in studio. You told me off air that you're engaged?
I am. I got engaged. I don't even know the date, but this past
don't
Christmas.
Let her know.
Yeah. Oh, she knows. She's taking care of everything. She's got the wedding plan. I can't even tell you when the wedding date is or where it's at.
Smart man.
She's got it all taken care of. So she's been a trooper. We've been together since high school, sophomore year of high school or junior year of high school, something like that. And it's been a while, but she's been she enjoyed this LSU journey with me, and it was awesome to see. Her family came to all the games and stuff, both from Zachary. So it was pretty cool.
Did you tell me you're getting married in October?
October 2025.
Still during football season, man.
I know.
But you may have to do that for baseball, though, by the way.
We're doing it for baseball and hunting purposes.
Okay. For hunting.
All right.
You got your priorities, bro. Hey, I respect it. You got your priorities. It's baseball and hunting.
Yeah,
so I always tell people, like, whenever my brother got married in October, and he's like, but it was the LSU Open date. I'm like, but do you realize that forever and ever your anniversary is going to fall on a home game or something like that? And they may not care.
That's a good reason to travel. Go watch them wherever.
I guess so, man. But then on the wedding, it's like you got to understand, either people are not going to show because of the game, or they're going to show and they're going to have like earpieces out of the game on their phone the whole time.
Me and Beloso were talking about this because he had I think a football game wedding deal. His wedding, I was in his wedding and stuff, and he had a football game day wedding or whatever. Yeah. I was like, you know what? If people are going to skip your wedding for a football game, they don't need to be here. But you know what?
We're going to skip the wedding.
We're going to have a great time. We're going to party, and we're going to have a freaking wedding. Let's get you married. Let's go. If they don't want to come because it's a football game, I get it. But I don't like you very much. I shouldn't have invited you.
I'd have been that dude, though, bro. I went to my brother's wedding, though.
Yeah.
I huffed and puffed, but I went.
We'll have a big screen playing the football game, whatever.
To get married like on the Nichols weekend or something like that, whoever they're playing. But congrats on that. That's awesome, man.
Thank you.
But so pro ball is next. So the season ends. The draft is coming up in July. So what do you do between now and the draft?
Yeah, obviously, for me, best thing to do right now for any baseball player as soon as they get done with the season, especially as a catcher that's, you're not high impact, stressful position. And not a lot of people realize that, like, catching in high stressful games wears on your body. Not only the impact, the physicality of the position, which is part of the reason why I love it. I was always a football guy. I'll tell you a quick side note. I tried to quit baseball when I was like 9 years old because I hated it so much.
Why did you hate it?
I don't know. I friggin' loved football. I thought I was going to be a quarterback at 5'10", whatever, in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Dad broke my heart when I was younger. He's like, hey, you're going to baseball practice. Not many guys look like your dad are playing quarterback in the SEC at 5'10".
Yep. Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel.
Could you move like that?
I could when I wasn't catching every game. I've gotten slower over the years. Like, believe it or not, I was 165 pounds in high school, and I was playing quarterback, free safety. I could run a little bit.
Did you play for Brewerton?
I did. I played in
awesome,
Zachary.
Man.
He's
Brew
the
was-
man.
You just lose timelines sometimes.
Yeah.
So Brew was my freshman offensive line coach at
Catholic.
Yeah.
I know you're a big Catholic guy, which
damn right, bro.
I forgive you.
Hey, bro. I ain't asking for forgiveness, bro. You want to come over and see all the banners we got? Come look at the trophy cases. You're welcome anytime. We'll take a little drive over to Hearthstone.
Y'all play in the Powder Puff division now. Come on now.
We play in the division that's all the great teams because your schools didn't want to play us anymore. So it said all the good teams go over there. All right, we don't even have you want to get me fired up,
I just wanted
dog.
to get you wired up about the Catholic deal.
You succeeded. No,
By the way, my
Brew's
mom
awesome.
loves the show. She's always listening to your rants. Like, I'll be in the car and I'm listening to you. I think it's like your whiskey rants or something you do.
I do that. Yeah, we do that.
Keep doing it.
I will, man.
Keep doing it.
So what's your mom's name?
Shannon.
Shout out to Shannon. Thank you so much. Shannon Milazzo, great people. Obviously, she's watching AFR, listening every day. You better believe she's great people. So thank you. Shout out to your mom. Where were we? I forgot where we were. Oh, you were talking about playing quarterback and playing for Brewerton.
So,
shout out to Brew, by the way, if you're listening.
Well, so after the season, preparing for draft, all that stuff. I'm gonna take a week or two off, get off everything, get everything healed up, get my body feeling right, get it on the water, do some fishing, maybe go to the beach or something, go down to Grand Isle. I'll be at the Blue Boot Rodeo July 11th through 13th, which is a great cause down there.
What's a Blue Boot Rodeo?
So that's something we do. If you saw us during Auburn, we were wearing the blue cleats, blue baseball cleats. And that is something that's a cause we love. We wear the cleats every year. Gavin Dugas got us started down there in Homa and Do Large. It is for drowning awareness. And the guys down there are awesome that run this nonprofit, which is, everybody knows it as a Blue Boot Rodeo, but it's the Riley John Foundation. And it's basically raises drowning awareness. They give away free life jackets down there. They give away free swim lessons. They're teaching about drowning prevention in schools, in public schools now, and they're doing an awesome thing down there. So we go down there every year to support that and help raise money, and any donations are appreciated through them. And
there it is. There's the website. So we got the website up on the screen. It's Blue Boot Foundation. Is it .org or .com? I'd have to minimize this.
Yeah, but it's actually gotten bigger. Yeah,
BlueBootFoundation.com. BlueBootFoundation.com.
It's actually, some people are saying it's bigger than, or last year we broke the record or whatever for the Tarpon Rodeo. It's getting bigger than that, and it's a cool family-friendly environment. Like, they have stuff for kids. It's no cussing in the music. Like, bring your kids down there, and it's a great time.
Give the I was going to say give the info for the Blue Boot Rodeo again, but I'm looking at it here. So if you go to the website bluebootfoundation.com, there's the hour programs there, and when you hit the drop down, hit Blue Boot Rodeo. So it's the annual fundraiser. What were the dates again?
July 11th through the 13th.
July 11th through 13th. Over 1,200 life jackets donated. Really cool, man. That's great. What a great cause. So that's you? Who else is going down for that?
Me, Tommy White will be down there.
Awesome.
Will Helmers, and there'll be Josh Pearson will be down there. I think Brady Neal's coming down. But last year it was all of us. Beloso will be there.
Sure.
We're signing autographs, doing everything. They'll have a big auction at the end of the night and auction off. I think we donate some jerseys we sign and cleats we sign, and we do all that. So it's a great deal.
Here you go. So there's a separate website, which is bluebootrodeo.com as well, where you can buy tickets for the event. So, again, it's in July. There's the cleats, which is really cool. So 35 days away. So get your tickets and get on down there. Let us know how we can help, especially get closer to this, how we can help support. Happy to keep promoting this for y'all.
Best thing to do is just keep promoting it, sharing it on social media, and the coolest thing is after we wear those cleats, they did a special on ESPN, especially last year. With last year's team, Dugas wore them. I wore them during the games, and I think they were saying they had over 600,000 people visit in their Facebook asking what Blue Boot Rodeo is. And that's what it's all about, and just getting people to ask about it. And, especially down here in Louisiana, everybody's fishing, everybody's on the water, has a pool, it's hot down here. So just being able to prevent drowning and, just bringing awareness to that.
July 11th through the 13th. Again, bluebootrodeo.com is the website if you want to go check it out. Alex Milazzo's in studio with us. Let's knock out our final break of the hour. We'll come back. That's what we'll do. If you're cool, I'll just open it up for listeners to ask you questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you want to ask anything, you can tweet. You can email me, matt@1045espn.com. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona. You can text the show, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. You want to get a question for Alex Milazzo, get it, and we'll come back and wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Check them out right there. Always love sharing great 5-star reviews from our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air because, whenever one of the technicians is coming to your house, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to get a call, an email, and a text alerting you the technician's on the way. You're going to get the name of the technician, a photo of that person so you know who's coming to your house, and reviews of that technician so you know exactly who's coming to be in your home around your family. Nathan H. sent this 5-star review of Russell, who said, Russell did a great job. We appreciate the professionalism. Carter was efficient, very helpful. He did a quick and wonderful job. Carter did a great job once again, diagnosed the problem immediately and fixed the unit. Another 5-star review for River City's 1 Hour Air. Give them a call, 752-0001. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side for River City's 1 Hour Air.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We appreciate Alex Milazzo for hanging out with us here for the hour. If you want to get questions in, feel free. You can email us, tweet us, text us. Let's fire away. Get a bunch of texts coming in on the text line. Let's start with Kevin, who said, they said, ask Alex, what did you major in at LSU?
Sports administration.
So what do you want to do? Like when baseball's done? Have you given any thought?
Yeah. God, people would probably kill me if I said do something in the hunting industry or something like that.
Why would people kill you? That's a
I may go into some coaching. I don't know yet. I might join up with Milazzo. We'll take over at Traction.
You at 23, you don't need to know what to do with the rest of your life. Trust me.
Yeah,
like there's people at 43 right now that have no idea. It's fine.
Immediately for me, it's go try to play baseball as long as I can, and then figure it out from there.
A guy named Jason said, I met Alex at my doctor's office. I told him the moment he wrote on Skeens' shoulders will live in my brain forever. It was a doctor's office in Baker.
He sure did.
Oh, you know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
Greg said, ask Alex. You won't know this. He said, is Milam the Mexican reincarnation of Tookie Johnson? Tookie Johnson played on the infield at LSU in the early 90s. But we talked about
Milam's a good sport though, man. He's good about it. Like he'll come in. He's got all kinds of. I've watched that guy eat chips and salsa, or come in with I think it's the what's the market right there across from Traction. It's a cool little market. The hot lunches are good.
Save More.
Yeah, he comes in with
Bro, shout out
just all kinds of stuff.
Dude, my guys Z and Halim over at Save More, I know those guys. They're awesome, man. That's a little gem right over there across from Traction. It's on Gardier, across from the Gardier part of
Me and
Traction.
Tommy would go over there, man, get some pre-marinated steak.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Let's see. Nathan said for Milazzo, he said, did you think the fly ball you hit against South Carolina in the SEC tournament was gone, and did you hit any BP homers?
I did hit BP homers all the time when nobody was watching.
Did you think the ball against South Carolina was gone?
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I did. I hit 2 of them that game that I actually thought would end up getting out of here. Nobody can say I never hit one. I did hit one. I was the first Alex to hit one in Minute Maid right there. So
the ball against South Carolina, this might be offensive for me to say it this way, but I'm going to say it this way. You pissed on that ball against South Carolina.
Yeah, I
thought
did.
It was gone when you hit it.
Yeah, that guy was throwing 68 miles per hour, and I was like, in that moment, look, if you asked me earlier if I could go back and change anything, yes, I would have probably swung a little bit harder at that baseball, knowing how I hit it.
Just try to get it out.
And I wish I hit it earlier in the day because the wind was blowing out.
Yeah.
At night, ball was dead.
Yeah.
But I cut down my swing. I was like, I could hear the chants, LSU. And when you're in the box, and especially at Hoover, it gets loud there, and people are chanting like that, you're going to do some crap you've probably never done before. Nobody understands it unless you played at LSU. You're going to do something that you don't normally do, and your body's not going to work how it normally does. So I'm like, all right, calm down, deep breath. Let's relax. Let's just get this thing to the outfield, score the tying run, let Braz hit the next guy in or whatever. So I cut off the swing, and of course I hit the ball to the track. I was ready to kill myself.
Right about where Todd Peterson hit it back in 2018, right?
Todd Peterson.
Let's see if we get it. We got about 2 minutes left. Let's see if we get a few more questions in here for Alex. Let's see. Jordan said, ask Alex, who is the toughest guy on this year's team?
Toughest?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to go with myself. I
believe it. David said, what was it like catching Skeens?
Unreal. My hand was hurting after every game.
It is, man. One day, you got to come back, and we'll just talk about catching for Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
But would you do, some point during the summer, come back on for 10 minutes, and we'll just talk about catching for Skeens?
Yeah, we could do a whole hour on that.
Bet. We'll do it. Donnie said, ask Alex about his progression offensively. You made a massive jump in offensive production. We're short on time, but can you
keep it quick? I've been a hitter my whole life. Like I said, biggest jump you're ever going to make is going from high school baseball to SEC baseball, and there's going to be some growing pains in there, and that's what happened. And, Coach Johnson, Chief, Coach Wanaka. Chief,
is it Wanaka or Wanaka? I've always said Wanaka.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's just Chief, and I
Chief.
call him Dad
Yeah.
sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah. They did a great job with me, man, just slowing things down. And you know what? Nobody ever thinks about this either. When you're catching a lot, your body, you don't really have legs all the time. Like, that's the first thing to go for a catcher is your legs, and it's tough to hit when you're on your 5th game at the SEC tournament in that heat. But yeah.
We got 1 minute left. Dude, this was my mistake. Like, we should have gone to questions. There's a million questions in here that people have. Let me see if I can pick out one or two more good ones. Clayton said, what did you think? How mad were you at the catcher's balk?
Stupid call.
Bro.
But it was the correct call. Looking back on it.
Really?
It was actually the correct call, yes.
Okay. But Brady didn't touch the plate, and he went to the right of the plate.
Did his foot touch the plate
No.
when then
No, his foot
bad
never
call.
touched.
I never went back and looked at it, but
No,
I
his
thought
foot never touched the plate.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
That was the whole thing. Did he disengage from the rubber? And then I've also watched the guy stepping out of the box. It's like, that's a controversial call, but it doesn't matter. We won the game. But
All right.
Brady did everything correct, because I would have done the same thing if I was in Brady's shoes.
We got 5 seconds. It's a pleasure, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alex Milazzo, Hour 3 next.
AFR.
Hey, we're brought to you by Optimize. Visit generatorpeople.com, generatorpeople.com. As we were starting the show today, we could hear the thunder cracking, the loud rain. Y'all, it's that time of year, like every day it's raining. There were tornadoes earlier this week. I think they actually might have been yesterday around a meet. Certainly hope everybody made it through. But look, when you live in this part of the country, storms and severe weather is just part of what we deal with, and we lose power. Optimize is a Generac home standby generator dealer. But they're not just a dealer, the number one Generac dealer in the state of Louisiana, because the only thing they do at Optimize is sell, service, and install Generac automatic home standby generators. They're not an HVAC company that also does generators. They're not an alarm company that also does generators. They're the generator people. So go to generatorpeople.com. If you got $600 for a down payment, they have financing options to fit any budget. It's Optimize. Go to generatorpeople.com, generatorpeople.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A more definitive answer from Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis regarding his status for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Yesterday, he said he plans to be available. Today, he said he is going to play against the Mavericks, but is not sure what his conditioning level will be. He's been out 5 weeks with a calf strain. Porzingis' health, just one key for Boston in the series, points out ESPN NBA analyst Alan Hahn.
Jason Tatum meets Luka Doncic on the mountaintop, and they go shot for shot. We've seen Tatum do this with other stars, most notably Giannis Antetokounmpo a couple of years ago in a playoff matchup that was for the ages. He can do it, and that's important. Also, Jaylen Brown has to be the fire to Tatum's ice, and Kristaps Porzingis has to have a healthy calf, and it doesn't hurt him on either end of the floor, and knock down those big threes.
Alan Hahn on Get Up. NBA Finals opener tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ABC. NFL Browns signed coach Kevin Stefanski, GM Andrew Berry to contract extensions. Cleveland running back Nick Chubb, no target date yet to return from a pair of knee surgeries.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier. They'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's Hump Day. Yep.
It's Hump Day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Big shout out, Alex Milazzo.
Hump Day.
Called him earlier today and was like, hey, you want to do 10 minutes?
It's Hump Day.
He was like, phone or studio?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Like, well, it's always better in studio. I was like, oh, come on up. Dude ended up spending an hour with us.
It's Hump Day.
Awesome, man. Great convo.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Appreciate Alex Milazzo for jumping aboard with us here.
Hump Day.
I have to make that a regular thing this summer.
It's Hump Day.
Sean Fazende in 15 minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Bama's burning.
Hump Day.
You missed it in hour 1.
It's Hump Day.
If you missed Bama burning,
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You got to come on back.
Hump Day.
Let's get going here. We're going to get to Sean Fazende in about 12 minutes from right now. So we're glad to have you aboard. Got a lot of Saints stuff we want to delve into with Sean. We'll get to Pluckers Trivia later this hour. Glad you're hanging out on a Hump Day edition of AFR, where, of course, we're brought to you by Pluckers every Wednesday trivia, 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson over at Pluckers. So yesterday, while we were here, we looked at FPI, and I feel like every time we talk about FPI, I have to throw out this caveat. I don't know. FPI isn't the be-all, end-all. It is just a metric that some people use and lean on. Like, we've just come to accept that that's a reputable source that we go to for an opinion, for an objective computer-based opinion. So the contrast of that would be something subjective. Well, this certainly qualifies. 247 Sports, and it was Brad Crawford over at 247. And Brad's been on the show before, and he does a really good job. Brad updated his power rankings in the SEC. And I found it interesting, and to be very honest, I mean, look, I think some of this we know, like number 16 on the list. Oh, okay, it's Vanderbilt. They're dead last in the SEC. Of course, that's who else would be dead last in the SEC than Vanderbilt? So Vanderbilt 16, and then a bunch of coaches fighting for their jobs. You know, if it's, well, I should say Jeff Lebby at 15 as a first-year head coach, and then, you know, Arkansas at 14, Sam Pittman could very well be on the hot seat. You know, South Carolina and Shane Beamer at 13. You get the picture. For whatever it's worth, and I don't know that it's worth a tremendous amount, actually, but LSU on this list is 6th. They have LSU 6th in the power rankings. And the way they stack it is Georgia 1, Texas 2, Ole Miss, Bama, Missouri, LSU. Then after LSU is Tennessee at 7. So all that preamble, because of what we talked about with FPI, where if you remember, the thing that just jumped off the page at me with the FPI is how much that metric loves the Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma's, when I look at something like that, I'm always looking at what is the outlier. Okay, they have Georgia as the best team in the country. Shocker, we all know that. What's the outlier? Well, the outlier was Oklahoma. You know, post-spring, way too early top 25s, we went through a handful of them yesterday. They got Oklahoma at 16, at 23. Like, I look at FPI, and they got Oklahoma 8th in the country, the 8th best team in America, with the 8th best odds of winning the national championship, which tells you there's a giant variance potential with Oklahoma. They had 4 games among the most impactful on the college football season in the playoff involving Oklahoma. Meaning that's a team that's going to play some really thin margin games. And whether it's, you know, in those 4 games, if you go 4-0, 0-4, or anywhere in between, it's going to determine whether that's an 11-win team or a 7-win team. Anyway, all that to say, here's another subjective spot that doesn't think much of Oklahoma. Remember I told you FPI has Oklahoma the 8th best team in a country. 247 in their SEC power rankings has Oklahoma the 8th best team in the SEC. Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, Bama, Missouri, LSU, Tennessee, Oklahoma, A&M 9, followed by Kentucky, Auburn, Florida at 12, and then, you know, what I just mentioned, South Carolina, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Vandy. As I was scrolling through this, I started to think, when I look at a list like this, I kind of think to myself, okay, well, where's the outlier? Why are they projected where they are? And who's maybe someone that's overvalued or undervalued? And Oklahoma, I understand why humans look at Oklahoma and aren't super pumped. Do you realize Oklahoma has the 3rd toughest strength of schedule in America this year? That's a pretty good reason why humans, Vegas, are looking at Oklahoma going, yeah, 7.5. 3rd toughest strength of schedule in America. That'll do it. For what it's worth, LSU strength of schedule right now, going into the season, 25th. Manageable by SEC standards. Bama, 6th. LSU, 25th toughest strength of schedule. Bama, 6th toughest strength of schedule. Yo. You want to know why people are high on Ole Miss? All those transfers, big part of it, no doubt. Lane Kiffin, you get Jackson Dart back, good season last year, build on it, Walter Nolan transfers, everything. Strength of schedule, 53. That'll do it. You got a manageable path. But the team that I looked at on this list that made me go, huh, was Florida. So they got Florida at 12. And I know there's not many people high on Florida this year, and I'm not one of them either. But I want you to consider this. The team with the most returning production in the SEC this year, the most returning production from last year's team, is Texas A&M. And that probably surprises you because they lost 31 guys off the team, or 37, whatever the number is, after Jimbo left. They lost a ton of players. But strictly production, they're 18th in the country, best in the SEC. Most returning production of any team in the SEC. The second most returning production, Florida. Now, Florida wasn't great last year, but year 300 Billy Napier, you get everybody back. You would think, would stand to reason, Graham Mertz back for another year under center, you take that step. Here's the problem with Florida. Talking about strength of schedule. Florida has the number one strength of schedule in the country. That is why ain't nobody high on Florida this year. They open up with Miami. Then they play Samford, A&M, at Mississippi State, Central Florida, at Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, at Florida State. They may not win a game in November on. Georgia, at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, at Florida State. Even if they are respectable through October, they're probably going 0-5 to finish the season. Which is why a lot of people are looking at Florida and going, this is probably it for Billy Napier. Unless if all that returning production hits that parabolic run-up and they find themselves and end up being really good. Interesting to look at all the different opinions, both subjective and objective, at this point in the summer, leading toward the regular season. And to look, where do you see parallels and where do you see giant discrepancies? Oklahoma is certainly among them. Florida might well be also. Okay, we're brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing. Man, sincere thanks to so many of you. I have, for the last 3.5 years, told you, do business with someone you know. Let us come give you that free, no-obligation roofing inspection. And we collectively decided to dissolve our past relationship and start a new company. Very amicable, but we started a new company. And it's all the same people. It's me and Terrio and Richard Tilley and Joe Morales and our same crews, like everybody. We even have the same phone number. It's 364-1007. But we started a new company and a brand that people don't know. But the response in this first month has been awesome, and I'm sincerely humbled by it. And I thank everybody who has trusted us and given us the opportunity to earn your business, both commercial and residential. Parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com for Parrish Construction and Roofing. If it's commercial or residential, repairs or replacements. Look, I mean, every day I open up the text line, my Twitter, Facebook Messenger, and you're welcome to comment or holler at me at any time, and I'll happy to facilitate. But people sending me pictures of water spots on their ceiling, leaks in their attic. It's just what happens. It rains, and that's when you realize you got a roof issue. If that's you, give us a shout. We'd love to come help you. Maybe it's a simple fix. Maybe it's an easy repair. Maybe it's time for a roof replacement. Whatever it is, we can help. It's Parrish Construction and Roofing. Go to parrishbuilt.com, P-A-R-I-S-H, parrishbuilt.com for Parrish Construction and Roofing. Do business with someone you know, parrishbuilt.com. Okay, quick break. Saints are back on the practice field for OTAs today. Sean Fazende, our buddy from Fox 8 New Orleans, will jump aboard. He was there. What did he see? We'll talk about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about Clegg's Nursery. Summer's here. You want to beautify your outdoor space. Clegg's can help. Of course, as I say every single day, flowers and plants and trees and shrubs and all the things that are going to decorate your outdoor space and make it beautiful. But they've also got things like bird feeders and hummingbird feeders. If you need accessories, if you need garden tools, shovels and rakes and hoes, they got all of that. If you need gloves or boots or hats, they have all that as well. They got everything. It's Clegg's Nursery. And as a partner with True Value Hardware Store, they have stuff you'll find at True Value Hardware. You need duct tape and floodlights and nails and screws. They got that as well. And they have all the things to keep the unwanted summer pests away. If you have wasps and roaches and things like that, ants, snakes that you don't want popping up in your yard, your outdoor space, they can help you get rid of those too. It's Clegg's Nursery. Segan Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local, tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Another good day out here. I thought we got some good work today. Worked a lot of red zone down there in the scoring zone, you know, and I thought both sides of the ball had some plays. Both sides of the ball executed some things, and I think it's been good work.
Dennis Allen met with reporters after OTAs on Wednesday out at the Saints training facility. Our buddy Sean Fazende, Fox 8 New Orleans, he was there. He's with us now. Sean, how are you, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Man, I'm awesome. Look, you've been to a million OTAs. What is the value of these OTA practices?
I mean, it's just, getting on the football field, repping out, what you're learning in the classroom, getting together as a team, or at least as much as you can, just to sort of kind of put the building blocks in place. Certainly not the end-all, be-all, but it's sort of that introduction to a new season, and really just kind of get the first taste of, kind of a new team, because every year, obviously, it's a new team on the football field. So, and then just getting out there, getting on the field, because, when these guys leave after the season ends, It's not like they can do any 11-on-11 stuff anywhere else. So all those things really can help when it comes to OTAs. It kind of helps just start things off for the the season ahead.
And I asked that intentionally because there's been a lot of talk about changing the NFL offseason, maybe doing away with OTAs. As you watch it play out, like, do you think there's merit to these practices, or would it change to this postseason or this preseason structure work?
Well, I do think there's merit to it. I don't think, not doing anything and then showing up for training camp a few weeks early after, not doing any sort of 11-on-11 stuff, on the field type stuff for, 3, 4, 5 months is maybe the smartest thing to do. Now, if they were able to do it where OTA, sort of an OTA-like type practice kind of leading up to the official start of training camp, just so you don't have that 5-week break, maybe that could work. But even that's a long stretch to go from the start of training camp all the way to the end of the season. So that's going to be, when that report came out, I couldn't really get a read because a lot of the players hadn't necessarily seen it all, but I'm not sure which way that's going to go with some of the players, in particular the veteran players that really are accustomed to a certain calendar. And that's just a long stretch to go when the season ends all the way to the start of training camp. If you start like late June, early July, as opposed to that, having that little sort of 6-7 week sort of conditioning and on-field work in the middle, like April, May, and in June.
All right, let's talk about what you did see out there and what may be of merit. I think a lot of people are talking about Chris Olave being in the no-contact jersey. Anything at all of concern there?
No.
Okay.
It was an injury in the weight room. It was minor. He practiced. I mean, it was a little weird seeing the red no-contact jersey on a receiver, but he practiced and practiced well. Had 2 big catches from Carr, one on a deep over route during 7-on-7, the other a touchdown during red zone. So he was out there doing everything. And the non-contact for a receiver, I mean, they're not tackling guys right now. I guess it was just more of a precaution. But as far as my eyes could tell, he did just about everything he had done the last couple practices that we had seen. He had a pretty good practice as well.
What about Derek Carr? It's all going to be a learning process in year 2, but especially because it's year 1 with Clint Kubiak. How would you assess what you've seen, a very, very, very small sample size of Derek Carr so far?
Well, last week I thought he had a fantastic practice. He was 8 for 8. The ball didn't touch the ground. Today I thought all 3 quarterbacks, Carr included, really had to battle a little bit. He threw a touchdown to Chris Olave. He threw another touchdown to Michael Jacobson. But in between that, he got picked off on a red zone play, kind of one of those congested balls back at the end zone. Ball got tipped up in the air and was picked off. But his comfort level within the system, I think, is growing. But I don't think I think this is a big thing as well. His comfort level within the organization and within the city is as good as it's ever been. And he's pretty open about that last year, about how some of the things that came along with changing organizations and changing cities, that it probably was harder on him than he realized. It probably took him longer to adjust than he realized. Now in year 2 in the city, everything's situated. Plus, he's not catching up to his teammates. They're all learning a new system together. It just leads to a little bit more of a comfortable in his own skin sort of feel. I think he's a little more out there, a little more vocal, a little more encouraging with the teammates. It just feels like he's a little more comfortable with being a leader right now. Again, it's early and we still have a long way to go, but I do think he just feels a little more comfortable out there, both with the system and obviously with the Saints.
Anything of note with the other 2, with Haener and Rattler? And I'm omitting Peterman, but I think at this point we all understand. And you tell me if you disagree, Sean, but it feels like whoever's going to be the number 2 is going to be one of the draft picks.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought both guys battled. Haener had a nice day today. He started off hot, 7-on-7, closed out his day with a touchdown throw to Jawan Johnson. Spencer Rattler, the last 2 practices were disasters, absolute disasters. He threw 3 interceptions over those last 2 practices. But today, he battled back. He had a nice effort. He improved. Had a touchdown pass to Cedric Wilson during red zone. Looked a little more confident, looked a little more sure of himself, looked a little more aware of the timing issues in the NFL. The windows closed pretty quick in the NFL. That's what caught him the last couple of weeks. So I thought both those guys had pretty good days. I thought all 3 quarterbacks battled, kind of ebb and flow of practice, where the defense had some good plays, and then they were able to come back with some good plays of their own. Nathan Peterman, by the way, got 2 throws today, and one of them was an interception during 7-on-7.
You had to throw that in there. Oh, Nathan Peterman catching strays on AFR today. Sean Fazande's with us on Twitter at Sean Fazende, Fox 8. I know whenever you're not in pads, it's impossible to discern anything with the offensive line or the defensive line. But what, in your observations, is significant going on with that position right now?
Good question. Well, first off, Penning at right tackle was big news a couple of weeks ago. He's still there. He's still at right tackle. Feels like it's his job to lose. They want him to win that job, and he's in a better place mentally with the new offensive line coach and give him the first 2 years have been in his career. Feels like he's in a better place with this new system. We'll see how he adapts, and we'll see. Again, there's a long way to go. But the other one's probably not getting enough attention. Nick Saldiveri now, the last 3 practices we've seen, he has gotten the majority of the first-team reps at left guard, the second-year pro, Nick Saldiveri, who barely saw the field a season ago. That position, left guard, is still very much up in the air. And Nick Saldiveri getting the majority of the first-team reps when a couple other veterans are there, like Lucas Patrick and Shane Lemieux, who he was splitting with the first practice we were able to see. For him to get the majority of those reps the last couple of weeks, I think is certainly significant. I don't know if that means he's in the lead, but I do know this. They're not rotating right now with first team at left guard. So I think that's significant as well along the offensive line. That right tackle obviously would be Trevor Penning, and then Nick Saldiveri getting the majority of the reps at left guard.
Any position, rookies standing out good or bad for whatever reason?
Well, Fuaga has been the first team at left tackle. That's your first-round pick, so that's certainly an encouraging sign. Christian Boyd has gotten some reps at defensive tackle. He's kind of rotated in and rotated out. Jalen Ford was a guy. He's been working off the side, not getting much work with his team, just doing more of the injury recovery type stuff. Bub Means had a couple moments in some previous practices that I think could certainly help himself just because that wide receiver position, he's a bigger body player. He's got a good personality, seems to fit in well with the culture of the locker room. And I think, the wide receiver room is very young, so I think he's got an opportunity just to, if he can get on the field and make plays, especially with using the size to his advantage. So I think he certainly had decent moments over the OTA session as well. So, yeah, I mean, Kool-Aid McKinstry's still out, and he'll probably be back doing something next week, but not team drills. So certainly that's significant. And then we'll see. I mean, it's been early. We've only got to see 3 practices. But, look, Fuaga right now is still your starting left tackle, and Bub Means has gotten his hands on a few passes, which I think is certainly encouraging.
Sean, before you go, you look at the calendar. It's June the 5th, so we're past the post-June 1 designation. Mm-hmm. Do you expect any free agent additions here now that, or subtractions now that we're post June 1?
I think they would at least maybe take a look. I don't know for sure. You look at the defensive end position with Tano going down, and Young still being injured, and Cam Jordan. We'll see what he ends up doing. I mean, if for no other reason, you need someone to take some reps at defensive end once training camp rolls around. If those guys are still unavailable, and I know DA said they'll have a clearer picture on Chase Young by next week in terms of kind of his future going forward with his health and how quickly he can get back on the football field. Could you use another D tackle? Maybe. You got 3 that you can count on, but do you need that 4th guy in the rotation? I think that's certainly something you could consider. So, yeah, I mean, I think they're always looking. They're always open to the idea of adding a veteran if the situation presents itself. They're not going to spend a lot of money. We know that just based off the free agent signs that they've already made this offseason. So, but they're never going to close the door and just say we're set. So, yeah, I think there's certainly a possibility.
About $4 million or so in cap space for the Saints right now. We'll see if they get active anywhere. Sean Fazende, Fox 8 on Twitter at Sean Fazende, Fox 8 if you want to give him a follow. Always appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, be well. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. You want to buy land? Go to the place that's helped Louisianians buy land since 1916. First South Farm Credit. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Your first option is First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com. I keep telling you about this, but it's worth mentioning over and over because it's such an oddity. We all borrow money at some point. Most of us do anyway, in our lives. You ever had a lender write you a check? Happens every year at First South Farm Credit. It's the patronage refund. Because they're a member-owned cooperative, they share their profits with their members. So if you're a borrower at First South Farm Credit, they're going to write you a check every year as part of their patronage refund. I had a listener on the text line literally yesterday, a man named Caleb. I won't tell you his last name for his privacy purposes, but he said, Matt, got my check from First South Farm Credit this week. It's a real thing. Ask about it. Here it is, Caleb. Got my dividend check from First South. Sent it to me yesterday at 3:42 p.m. It's First South Farm Credit. Visit firstsouthland.com. Want to buy that recreational property, that hunting property, land to build your family's dream home, whatever it may be. First South Farm Credit can help. Firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Appreciate Sean for jumping aboard with us. We get to a little Pluckers Trivia with Muse here. I feel like with Alex coming in, did we miss something else that we were going to get to? I don't know. I feel like we might have missed something. We had some NFL win totals and different stuff like that we were going to get to. I don't know. Alex Milazzo, we had in studio for an entire hour. I mean, I thought he was going to be on the phone for 10 minutes. He came in. We were going to do 2 segments. He stayed the entire hour, and it was great. It was our second hour of the show today, so if you missed it, you want to catch it on demand, remember, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. Here's what we'll do, Muse. When we come back, let's do Tigers and the Pros, because I know it's Skeens Day as well. So we'll do Tigers and the Pros. Got the Dodgers tonight as well. So we'll do Tigers and the Pros, and we'll get what trivia questions Muse is going to get wrong next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel. 2 amazing hotel properties in Baton Rouge. Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown. Hey, get on by and check out, if you haven't, the Watermark in downtown Baton Rouge. The Watermark it's part of the autograph series with Marriott Bonvoy, the autograph collection. It is a one of one, and it is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. If you're looking for maybe a staycation this summer, how about you stay in downtown Baton Rouge and go have a night at the Watermark, maybe eat at the Gregory, have a glass of wine, people watch a little bit in their lobby bar. It's a great spot, the Watermark Hotel. And if you're looking to host an event, the Watermark can host your wedding reception, your banquet, whatever it may be. They have bank vaults. It's the old Louisiana National Bank building that they've made into conference rooms, fully equipped with all the technology you need. It's awesome. You got to check it out downtown, the Watermark Hotel.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Our Rad Dad contest is back, presented by Roaming Shot Outdoors and Shooting Range. Upload a picture of your dad doing dad things to 1045ESPN.com for a chance to win him a Blackstone grill with all the accessories, 1 long-range shooting class for 2 from Roaming Shot Outdoors and Shooting Range, steaks from Chris's Specialty Foods, a Hawk Soap gift basket, and a full throttle package from Finish Line Haircuts. We'll be choosing a winner June 14th. Happy Father's Day from Roaming Shot Outdoors and Shooting Range and 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All right. Since Milazzo was here for the entire 4 o'clock hour, we missed Tigers in the Pros. So we got Pluckers Trivia coming up here in just a smidge. Of course, we always lob 3 questions at Milazzo to see how he does. Inevitably, we know how it's going to go. But first, since we missed Tigers in the Pros at the end of last hour, and there was one very notable former Tiger competing tonight that you're going to be interested in. Milazzo, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Yeah, why don't we just start right there? It is Paul Skeens' shove day. Paul Skeens going to be facing probably, his toughest test yet. Yes, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
Game gets underway in about 3.5 minutes out there, or I should say up there in Pittsburgh. Skeens 2-0 on the year, a 2.45 ERA, struck out 30 and walked 5 in 22 innings. How about the matchups you're going to see tonight, though? Paul Skeens versus Mookie Betts. Paul Skeens versus Shohei Ohtani.
Heard of him?
Yeah, right. Skeens versus Freddie Freeman. This is going to be awesome to watch Paul Skeens go up against the Dodgers. That gets started in about 3 minutes. So we'll have a full recap for that of that for you tomorrow. Aaron Nola was on the mound today. Got the dub. Look,
Milazzo knew how to needle me, too.
He did. He got you going fast.
I know.
That wouldn't, said you played a powder puff schedule.
Hey, bro. Don't you come in here. Don't come half-stepping with that.
You missed the obvious shutdown response there. They just won a national championship in baseball.
We're talking about football.
I know, but still.
We win championships in everything now, Muse.
Hey.
Literally all the things. So whatever.
So Aaron
Just come
Nola
count
today,
our trophies.
7 shutout, no walks, 5 Ks, only gave up 2 hits. He got the win. This is exciting because he normally doesn't because the Phillies offense stinks.
Ready?
This season that Aaron Nola's having so far, and I almost don't want to say because I don't want to jinx it, he's 8-2 with a 2.7 ERA. The ERA is normal, but the 8 wins.
8-2, yeah.
Keep it up. Maybe some.
Don't say it.
Okay. All right.
You can say it.
I was just going to say maybe some hardware later. Maybe.
It's June. Hey, it's June.
It's June. I
Simmer
know.
down now. But what is close is All-Star Game. And
that feels like,
Let's go.
That feels like he's trending towards that strong. Alex Bregman last night, 1 for 3 runs scored in the game for the Astros. The one was a single. He also did draw a walk. That average starting to climb a little bit, and the Astros win total starting to climb a little bit as well. I do want to get a couple of minor league updates for you here. The Harrisburg Senators, Dylan Cruz last night, 2 for 5. Both of them doubles, up to 9 on the year now with 2 RBI. And then our guy, Todd Peterson.
Hey.
Todd Peterson last night got the hold. His first hold of the year. But I didn't miss it.
You missed it on yourself.
I didn't miss it on myself. 1 inning for Todd Peterson. 1 hit given up for Todd Peterson. He didn't give up an earned run in the game, and he struck out 1. Great effort from Todd Peterson.
Todd Peterson.
And finally, Angel Reese picked up a double-double last night in the WNBA, 13 points, 10 boards. Did also get ejected from the ball game, to which fellow Chicago hooper Lonzo Ball said, "Don't worry about the fine, Angel. I got you." That's the Tigers in the pros.
It's like $1,000. I think she's all right.
What's her second $1,000 fine in a week?
I think Angel's got it.
All right. Just saying.
Brought to you by Parish Restoration. Mold Zero, Pure Restoration, Parish Restoration. It's not a joke. It's real. My partners, Richard Tilley, Ryan Terrier with Parish Construction and Roofing, have partnered with Jim Woodworth from Pure Restoration. They've rebranded. So I know that's like 3 name changes over the course of a little more than a year. But this is going to make it really easy. Just remember Parish. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Right there on the homepage, you'll see where it says restoration. Hit the restoration tab, and you can see about the patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. There are about 200 businesses that are licensed in the country that are licensed to use this patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Literally no one in the country does more business than Parish Restoration. They also offer demo and build back. So while the dry fog is great because you don't need to cut sheetrock or move furniture or anything, if you have water damage, water intrusion, and you need to kill mold and you need demo and build back, they can handle it all. Electrical as well. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, hit the restoration tab and learn more. Parishbuilt.com. All right, it's after further review, trivia night. Let's hit it, Muse.
It's time for Pluckers Trivia. How many will Musso get wrong today? Pluckers Trivia. Every Wednesday night, 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson.
All right, Steve did not send me questions today.
Okay, so you're doing
so
this.
I just Googled trivia. All right?
All right.
And I'm not going to pick ones that, like there's one that's, what's the distance from the Earth to the sun? I don't expect you to know that. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's 93 million miles. I'm not going there.
Sweet.
Sometimes I'm not going there, okay?
It's a lot of miles.
All right. Which country is the largest in the world?
Antarctica.
No, that's a continent.
And it's also technically a country, wouldn't it be? Kind of like Australia?
No.
Okay, then Russia.
The answer is Russia. But you said Antarctica, so you got it wrong.
Well, I thought
You got it wrong.
I thought I was getting too technical.
You
is
don't
what I
get
was
multiple
doing.
guesses here.
No, what I was doing was getting too technical. Because
Paul.
I mean, Australia is a continent and a country.
Paul,
Yeah.
did he answer Antarctica first?
Yes, he did.
Was that the answer?
That was his first answer, yes.
Was that the correct answer?
No, that was not.
So he's wrong.
He's wrong.
Got it.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I just got too technical. I want that on the record.
Hey, Muse, what sport was featured on the first curved U.S. coin in 2014?
Wait, what? A curve?
What sport was featured on the first curved U.S. coin in 2014?
What is curved coin? Okay,
Well, you know coins are flat.
yeah.
But they had a curved coin.
They did?
Apparently so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you're a nerd and collected coins, you know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, football. We'll go football.
No, that was baseball.
America's pastime. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can get a couple more. Maybe one more in here, see if you go for 3. And if not, I'll maybe give you an easy one that you can get. All right, here we go.
Man, the country one was easy. I overthought it.
You missed it. If you bubbled in A on your Scantron there, you got it wrong.
Ugh, Scantron.
I know.
Ugh.
They still use those? You use Scantron. Kiwi's our intern. Do you use Scantrons? Yes, they still use Scantrons.
Bro.
You don't just take tests on computers? No?
Hella PTSD with that. Ugh.
It was always terrible whenever you showed up at a test and you forgot your Scantron.
Yes.
Like if you didn't have a Scantron.
You have to be that guy in class to
Hey, has
ask,
everybody got a
can I
Scantron?
borrow a Scantron? Yes.
For those that don't know, a Scantron is it's a long rectangular piece of paper with the little bubbles for like A, B, C, D, and that's how you would fill in your answer. And I presume that they would just filter these into some machine that would read your your pencil markings, and that was that. That's what a Scantron is. All right, Muse. M&M's Fruit Chews would eventually become what popular candy? M&M's Fruit Chews would eventually become what popular candy?
It has to be Starburst.
Starburst! You could have gone Skittles.
Yeah, but they're not the chew. Like, that's what I
It's a chewy candy.
I guess.
Yeah.
I can't eat Skittles, man. Hey, yeah.
There's a couple other on here I was thinking about asking.
Go for it. We got a minute.
No, we don't. What occasion corresponds to the longest day of the year?
Summer, right? Summer? Or what? What do you?
Summer is a season.
Yeah, it's an occasion. The first day of summer,
which is called
the summer solstice.
The summer solstice. Thank you. That's the answer. Not summer.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's the
There
same.
is no world when anybody answers summer solstice.
thing.
That is not the same thing. Summer is a season. The summer solstice is a day, an event. Paulie, help me here.
I have to agree with you there.
Thank you.
Of course you do, Paul. You were never not going to do that.
That's patently absurd. You answered season. The answer is summer solstice. It's a very specific day.
That
No, that is you do
corresponds
not.
with the
You,
season.
no. You do not get off the hook with that. Like the answer is not summer. Summer is a full like fall and winter and spring. The summer solstice is a very specific day, like the winter solstice.
And that's the shortest day of the year.
And you didn't answer summer solstice. You said summer. If you in your test, when Mrs. Marilyn Musso, Monroe Musso, you said that's not her name.
I
Yeah,
know,
forgot to
but
say
it
Monroe.
was. I had to stop
If it was
myself,
a
like,
fill in
wait.
the blank answer and you had just put summer when you were back in school at St. Thomas More and you had just put
Shut
summer on your answer, you would have got a big red X. Yes.
I might have got partial credit.
You would have got a big red X. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Brandon, Holly, and the gang, they're the best. You need windows, you go to the best, where they'll never take $1 from you until they're done and you're thrilled. Oh, yeah. They also do indoor shutters as well. It's Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. Give them a buzz, 288-8138, 288-8138, or go to ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com. All right, well, now I got our final break of the show. Come back. Jimmy will be here for a little out of locks. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on what has been a really busy edition of AFR, where Muse apparently is making up words. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
It has been my pleasure this week to introduce Duplessis Builders, pools and outdoor living, as part of the AFR family now. I've been telling you about Derek Duplessis. From Ascension Parish, currently resides in Livingston Parish, LSU grad, got his degree in mechanical engineering and a minor in aerospace engineering. Was working in one of the gigantic plants. Wasn't fulfilled by what he was doing. His sister was going to build a pool, hire a pool builder. He said, I think I can do it. Learned with his engineering background, ended up building 8 pools the first year, 60 the next year, and now Duplessis Builders is the fastest growing pool builder in our market. And the amazing thing, when Derek builds a pool with his engineering background, they will never rush the process. Expect a 2-month process. And one of the things he often says, it's a Gucci quote, quality is remembered long after the price is forgotten. You want the best, you want Duplessis Builders. Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Pluckers Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Trying to connect with Otter. I'm pretty actually pumped up about tonight. As soon as I'm out of here, I'm actually going over to Supper Club. I'm going to get to sit with Chef Layton and sample some of the new menu items that I've been telling you about. And I could not be more excited. So they rolled out some new craft cocktails. There's a couple of new menu items as well that I don't even know what they are. But I'm going to get to go experience them tonight at Supper Club. So if you're knocking off of work, you're heading home, hop on into Supper Club. I'll just be sitting in the bar area with Chef going over some of the new items. So come hang, man. Come have a beer, come have a cocktail, come have a craft cocktail, a glass of whiskey, glass of wine, whatever your choice may be. Enjoy an amazing meal. Remember, you don't have a reservation, no worries. At Supper Club, open seating at the bar. And you should always call, because like anywhere else, sometimes reservations may fall through, something might pop up. It's always worth a call over there to Supper Club. Or book your reservation at supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. The new menu items were rolled out yesterday. I'm literally 8 minutes from now, I'm walking out of the studio. I'm going over to Supper Club, hang out with Chef Layton, and experience some of the new fare there at Supper Club. Come see me tonight over at Supper Club. All right, Autolocks, hit it.
Autolocks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
Otter, how are you?
Doing good, Matt. Get your pen ready.
I got it. Let's go.
Okay, Yankees money line. This is a parlay. It's a cross-sport parlay.
Okay.
Yankees money line.
Okay.
Sheffield to finish in the top 10.
Okay.
This weekend's tournament. Iga Swiatek.
Spell that.
Spelled Swiatek. Swiatek.
Okay.
French Open champion, and A&M to win the Super Regional. That's a fun one. Keep you busy for the whole weekend.
All right, A&M Super Regional win. Okay, so Yankees
It's
money
like
line.
3-1. Yeah.
Sheffield top 10. So that's golf this weekend.
Yes.
Swiatek to win the French Open, and A&M to win their Super Regional.
Correct.
All right, what's it coming back as? Or at?
Like 3-1. While you calculate that, here you go. I'll give you a Skeens report. struck out Mookie Betts on 4 pitches. His first pitch was 101. Ohtani, fastball, strike 1. Fastball, strike 2. Fastball, swing and a miss. He struck out Ohtani on 3 fastballs. And then he gets Freddie Freeman to fly out to the right fielder after 9. So 3 up, 3 down for Skeens. First pitch was at 101. Also like the Baltimore Orioles tonight. They're hot. Toronto's not. Looking for a sweep. And that'll do it.
So Baltimore, we're looking money line minus 105.
Money line.
Baltimore money line minus 105. There it is right there. All right, Otter. And
So did you calculate your parlay?
Not yet. I'm not quite as quick as you are maneuvering through all the different things, especially while I'm trying to host the show. But I'll get to it. But you said it's coming back about 3-1, so I'll make sure I get to it there.
It's a decent price. Yeah.
1 minute remaining.
All right, Otter, where are you tomorrow, man?
We are at the original Walk-Ons on Burbank.
Awesome. Always a great spot.
Yes.
Get on by, see
Yes,
the gang
indeed.
over there at Walk-Ons, have some lunch, and see the Otter and Hanny. Go hang out. All right, Otter, good luck tonight, man. That's an exciting
man.
parlay. Something that'll keep us going all week.
There you go.
All right. Be well.
Thanks.
That
Good
is
luck.
Jimmy Yacht. It's after further review. We do appreciate the Otter for being here with us. Hey, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. We opened up today with a little tidbit on Chris Olave out of practice. Let's hear a little bit from Dennis Allen. Big thanks to Alex Milazzo, who was here for the entire hour two. We talked about the season, his career, what's next for him in pro ball. All that sort of stuff is fantastic. If you missed it, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. Sean Fazende was here as well. We did a little Bama burning in hour one, so really good show. Appreciate y'all for being here. We'll, of course, be back tomorrow for Thursday edition of AFR, and we'll look for you then. Muse, Paulie, appreciate it. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, get to remind you about Evamore, Evamor. Drink Evamore, y'all. Evamore is a healthier option for your family, for your children. It's free from pollutants. There is nothing added. It's interesting, if you go grab a bottle of water, sometimes you'll see on a label, like, fill in the blank, added for flavor, for water, things added or subtracted. With Evamore, it is a 100% natural product. It is natural artesian water. And, something, they don't make medical claims or anything, but if you go read some of the reviews, you'll see people that suffer with acid, heartburn, indigestion, reflux, this helping because of the sodium bicarbonate. In any effect, I don't need to have a chemistry experiment. Just understand that this is alkaline by nature with a pH of 8.8 to 9.1. It's a healthier option for you and your family. It's Evamore. Evamore.com, available at great local retailers.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine